Yo, yo, yo. We're back with the 4th episode of Under the Canopy. I have my good friend Marcus right here. How you doing today, Doug?
I'm doing quite well. Thank you for inviting me.
Of course, brother. Thank you for sliding out. Today we're at Wilderness Park, right?
Yeah.
In Downey, Los Angeles. And I was thinking about this, right? I remember me and Pomvy's first year, a freshman year.
Yeah.
You'd always slide over. You're talking to someone on our floor at the time. But I don't remember. I was trying to really think, when was the first time I actually met you? I remember we'd always link up in Shauna's room and shit like that, but I don't remember the exact first moment.
Okay, so I was thinking about this last night just because I actually watched your previous episode.
Yeah.
And I was actually worried you're gonna hit me with something I didn't remember. So I'm pretty sure that it went like this.
Okay.
We have a friend named Mikey, which you probably
I met him. I vividly remember meeting him and Jordan.
Okay. So there was a particular night where we went out, and Mikey, I had picked up Mikey. I think Jordan was there, or somebody. It was either Jordan or Eli.
Yeah.
But the usual suspects.
Yeah.
And it was my first time ever coming out to UCLA, and I had followed Pomby around like a new little puppy trying to follow his owner around, and sure enough, I just see you guys just all grouped up at a random table, like closer to the, let's say, student rec center a little bit, or where Pomby's original dorm was.
Oh, so Sunset Rec, right in the corner.
Yeah. And I met everybody in like a go kind of fashion, and I kind of thought that was a one-time deal.
Yeah.
We go back to his dorm, and then he hits me up saying, actually, you know what? We're gonna go to somebody's other dorm room. This one you guys were all trapping out of one room each.
Yeah.
And I can't remember his name, but I know we don't really see him too often.
Brandon, maybe?
I think it was Brandon.
Okay.
Either his dorm or
Ryan or Just. Maybe?
Yeah, I was gonna say Just.
Okay.
And we kind of went back and forth talking about life and aliens.
Oh, if it was aliens, it was definitely Just.
Yeah.
It was definitely Just. It was aliens.
There you go. And you were there, and then I think the next day we had tried to go to Venice Beach or Santa Monica Beach.
Okay.
And I think at the time you were still with Kat, actually, and I had run into her for the first time.
I think so.
Yeah.
Damn. Crazy 3-4 years in the making, dog. This is also the most this hammock has ever sagged. We're both big motherfuckers, bro, so this is just ass to grass right now, dead ass, bro. I'm actually kind of scared. I'm gonna check the camera real quick.
Okay, cool.
Just to make sure we're both in frame. Oh yeah, we're both chilling.
Nice.
But I came decked with the Akatsuki robe. You wanna show what you got?
My bad. I'm actually repping Rem from Death Note.
And the reason why I asked Marc to come rep with this is because this dude is a big time weeb. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think nowadays in modern society, it's everyone wants to say, I'm an anime fan. And then you ask them what you watch, and oh, I've seen AOT, I've seen Naruto. But they're not really an actual weeb, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you've probably had that same frustration on some shit.
It's hard to not want to gatekeep the things that you love. So
exactly.
Exactly.
And I think it's just I think people are so easily to say, oh, I'm a fan of this, or I'm a connoisseur of this, but then they're not really. And for me personally, I watched my first anime 3rd grade. It was Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, and to this day, that's my favorite anime of all time. And I know what your favorite is.
Yeah.
And it's either Death Note or Berserk.
Right. It is actually Death Note.
Yeah? All right, bet.
So what's interesting about how I came across anime, you mentioned 3rd grade, is, I'll be honest, I actually hated anime. I hated admitting that I was a nerd.
Yeah.
I always was into Star Wars and stuff like that. So around middle school, I was primarily known amongst my nerdier friends to be kind of just an asshole, making fun of Pokemon and all that stuff. And eventually someone just looked at me dead in the eyes hey, bro, why don't you just try it rather than making fun of it? And so it was 7th grade, and I had watched an anime on YouTube. It was a dub too. That was how most people found what they liked.
On YouTube, bro. And it was the corner with all the random shit on the side, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And it was the worst anime, actually. It's called Akiba's Strip. The worst anime ever.
Damn. Is it like a strip club anime?
It's close. The overall, like, if I give you a brief synopsis,
Okay.
is you have aliens invading Earth,
Okay.
taking over like humans as hosts, and the only way to get rid of these aliens is to strip them of their clothes.
Oh damn.
Yeah,
Damn, bro.
like that's pretty. Like it's pretty fucking stupid.
It sounds like you know Parasite, the anime?
Yeah.
It sounds like a hornier version of that.
It is. It actually is.
It sounds like if you took High School DxD and then combined it with Parasites.
I unfortunately have a soft spot for High School DxD.
Oh, I love it also, bro. I love it. I haven't seen all of it, but like, it's just so comically horny. You know what I'm saying? That you just watch it and you're like, oh my god, bro.
Well, you can imagine me being in freshman year thinking this is the best form of fiction I've ever consumed.
Oh, absolutely,
ever.
bro. You ever seen High School of the Dead?
Of course I have.
Bro, that shit is peak, bro. The gun going through the girl's titties, bro.
Yeah.
I was just like, this is peak cinema, bro. And I love it so much because like they're so unapologetic with it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like they know what they're doing, and like I love that they know what they're doing on some shit, bro.
Yeah.
But I was gonna ask you. You just mentioned that your favorite series is Death Note.
Yeah.
Why is that?
I think it's mainly nostalgia because that was the first ever anime I really watched with actual content in it, like an actual good story.
Yeah.
But like going further into the story, and I don't want to sound like one of those YouTube channels that overanalyze things, but
No, please go for it.
okay. Well, I think majority of the story and the way that it kind of tackles the differences in morality, and obviously starting off with good intentions, and obviously, I guess, getting way too submerged in like a power trips and everything like that, and seeing how fast or how far someone can really be corrupted on the idea of good morals. I think that's really, really interesting, and it's a really good anecdote for what really does happen in society and just real world in general.
Absolutely. Because I think like Light has every idealistic approach that almost all humans have. I want to make the world better, and I know I could do it through my point of view.
Yeah.
And he's given that power, and initially it starts out good. You know what I'm saying? But then it just begins to like corrupt him ever so slightly. And this is something I was thinking about a few months ago. Do you think if they hadn't been coming after Light, like if the criminal organization didn't come after Light, do you think he would have remained at that moral like high ground? Or do you think because they were coming after him, putting pressure on him, that's when you start to see like him killing the cops and him messing with people's lives, etc.?
You know, I think he
because that's what I was thinking. It's because like he was doing everything right. He was only killing criminals.
Yeah.
And then as soon as the pressure started to be put on him, famously with like the news anchor scene.
Yeah,
you know
with
what
the
I'm
news
saying?
anchor scene.
Then he starts like slipping up. And it's amazing to see how fast he goes from just being, okay, I'm gonna kill just criminals.
Yeah.
And then he kills the news anchor just like that, bro.
So I think in a perfect world, obviously nothing's really perfect about, like, I guess killing and murder in general.
Yeah.
But I think he may have only stuck to criminals. But at the same time, that would be a really idealistic version of the story, because there's always going to be somebody that disagrees. And even if it wasn't L in that instance, it definitely would have been some poor chap, or like on a internet forum, and then all of a sudden, he probably would have hit that slippery slope in a different way, maybe just a little further down the line.
And then as I always view that as like, as he starts to kill, right?
Yeah.
There's gonna be someone who commits murder. Obviously, like you kill that motherfucker, right?
Yeah.
And then there's gonna be someone that like rapes someone. You obviously kill that motherfucker. But then there's gonna be someone that does something slightly below rape, or like maybe like they kidnap someone. Okay, then I have to kill this motherfucker, right?
Yeah.
And then something slightly below kidnapping, and then it's gonna get to the point where motherfucker steals a pack of gum, and then motherfucker just blows their head off on some shit. Did you ever watch Code Geass?
I actually never got the chance to, but I'm relatively familiar
with the concept. I think you'd absolutely love it, bro.
Really?
I think you'd absolutely love it because it's kind of similar to like that anti-hero type trope, but I think Lelouch does it in a way that doesn't corrupt him. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
He like stays on like the brink of it.
Interesting. So I actually have to check that out, mainly because I'm just curious how an anti-hero, at least in terms of anime, can really navigate that.
Yeah, I think he just does a fantastic job, especially with like the ending of it. You ever had the ending spoiled?
That's the one thing I haven't really had spoiled.
Oh, really?
I think he dies, if I remember correctly, but
I'm not going to confirm or deny,
Okay.
but I feel like it's the most spoiled ending in anime. Would you consider Eren Yeager an anti-hero?
I would.
Yeah?
I actually would.
I think that makes sense. Because it's, what I view an anti-hero as is someone that has a generally like a good view on society and how it should work, but then they go about it in just the craziest fucking ways, bro.
Yeah, I agree. Or general, I'd say questionable morals, but usually a better outcome out of it.
Okay. I wanted to do this little segment with you, right?
Okay.
So, I'm gonna ask you these anime genres, and you can
Okay.
take your time to think. But go action anime for you.
Go action anime. Can it be all time or recent?
Whatever you want it to be. Whatever you want. Literally, this is like your opinion. It doesn't have to agree to anything.
Okay.
Whatever you just fuck with heavy.
Action anime. There was this. It's always anything related like the go-tos. I always kind of get stumbled a little bit, but I think my go-to for a bit, even though I haven't really rewatched it in a while, probably Hajime no Ippo. Even though it's kind of like boxing, it's still like
That is, you know, I thought for some reason when you said that, I thought you said Boku no Pico.
Oh yeah. No, that too. That's a different level of peak for sure.
I thought that's what you meant, and then I remembered that the boxing. I've actually never seen that.
I watched that when I was still relatively fresh, and because it's old.
Yeah.
It's old.
You ever seen Rainbow?
No, actually.
It's I think it's like made by the same creator, but it's like I don't know how that boxing anime goes, but is he in prison at first or no?
It's been a little bit, but I don't really believe so. No.
Okay, because Rainbow follows like these 6 dudes that were in prison, and then they escape prison, and then one of them becomes like a famous boxer. So kind of like rags to like success type story.
Actually, if I could change my answer, it would be Villain Saga. That's
Goat.
something I watched recently, and I went every episode, every time it dropped, first season, second season.
Bruh.
Yeah.
Thorfinn season 1 is just pure Black Force energy.
I loved it. It was awesome.
He was just so fucking raw with it, bro. Especially when he fucking cuts off that dude's fingers, Thor's.
Oh,
no,
yeah.
it's not
Yeah.
Is it Thor's fingers or?
Yeah.
Bruh, it was such a crazy scene, bro. And that motherfucker was such a crazy bastard. He gets his fingers cut off and he was just like, fuck.
It is what
hey,
it is.
That shit was raw, bro.
Yeah.
I think for me, my favorite action anime has to be... Fuck. Low key, even though there's only 1 season of this, I really enjoyed No Game No Life. I know it's not like completely action,
Yeah.
but like those action scenes, like especially like that last arc where they're trying to escape from like the Archangel, and like they're in the downtown region. I think it was like, I loved the animation of it. I loved how like fast paced it was.
Yeah.
I loved it was like intense. It's not really like typical action. They're not like throwing fists, but it's just that intensity is like.
No, it's a really intense show, and the art direction for it, especially.
Bro, I don't know why they never made a season 2, because I feel like it's so loved by the anime community.
It's one of the greatest mysteries of life, even.
Yeah, I mean, bro, I think maybe it has something to do with like the perverted nature of the show, maybe.
There was a little bit of that.
Because that shit, bro, the whole like panty shot thing with the sister is like,
Yeah.
it's kind of crazy, bro.
It's kind of odd because again, it was one of those early ones I watched, and it is one of those things you kind of just forget that it's like, it's kind of sketchy when you kind of go back on it. I was surprised you mentioned it because I forgot all about it.
Yeah. All right, next segment.
Okay.
Sad. Something, your goat sad anime.
I guess that one's, it's not sad, but it toiled in my emotions a lot. Okay, best sad one I ever watched is, I have two,
Mhm.
but one ends happier. So I'll give you both.
Okay.
One is called Erased.
Erased?
Which is awesome.
Fantastic.
I loved it, but a happier ending. One that absolutely fucking killed me though was this older one called Plastic Memories.
I've never seen or heard of it.
So, Plastic Memories. Also, there's another one called Angel Beats, but that one's.
I've never seen Angel Beats. It's on my watch list.
You should watch it.
That opening is so huge.
It's awesome.
So huge. I remember in middle school, I always used to watch that motherfucker on the piano. What's her name? Animex or you know what I'm talking about? It's like the one that did the Tokyo Ghoul opening on piano.
Oh.
It's like Annie Mex or any something.
Oh shit.
You know what I'm talking about?
I know
dog?
exactly what you're talking about.
He
They
does
play it live, right?
Yeah, he does all of the anime openings and they all go like super viral and some shit, bruh. And he did the Angel Beats one and I watched it and I was like, bro.
Yeah, you gotta watch it. There's plenty of animes like Black Clover I've watched just for the openings alone.
Oh yeah, Black Rover, bruh. Classic.
Fucking
Classic,
awesome. But back to Plastic Memories.
Okay.
So this one again, it's older, but from what I can remember was, and I'm definitely gonna like chop this synopsis up, but pretty much I would say closer, like a very futuristic world, maybe almost dystopian. It's a little bit of a hard say, but pretty much you have this police investigator kind of just cracking down on general crimes, you know, futuristic crimes and all that stuff. And then you have these, I'm going to just say dolls.
Okay.
No, not dolls. Well, I guess dolls that are pretty much like AI, but they have like memories, if I remember correctly, and they are pretty much people. And you kind of have this one particular girl kind of become more real, just to find out through the story that pretty much she unfortunately is not built to last.
I see.
Pretty much, and like that's a really chopped synopsis of it.
Yeah.
But from what at least in terms of emotions, that was one of the few animes I watched that genuinely had me like teary-eyed, as well as especially the way that it really built the story up in the characterization of the actual girl, and watching the actual ending, you know, go through and everything like that.
So about Erased, how did you feel that he didn't end up with the shoddy?
It had me heartbroken because I was like, "What the fuck, dude? You went all this way, all this
all
effort.
That hardship. You ended up in a coma.
You ended up in a coma. Oh my god! I mean, he got his mom back.
He got his mom back.
You
I think
know?
the one gripe I have with that show, I think it would have gone down in like, for me, like a 9 or a 10 region. It's just I feel like they made the killer too easy to figure out.
You thought it was easy to figure out?
I thought it was easy, bruh.
I might be slow as shit then, because
As soon as the motherfucker opened the thing and there was lollipops in his car, I was like, okay, this is the teacher's the killer.
Oh, okay, but that was like after like the kid got drowned, right?
No, that was before the drowning.
That was before
because the drowning was the last thing before the coma.
Okay, I can't remember actually how that played out. In that case, you're probably right. It was probably easy to figure out, but to be honest, I just kind of just watch, and I'm too busy reading subtitles half the time to actually catch minor details. But it was really good.
I think for me, bro, I think Your Lie in April, every time I think about it, bro, just hits my heart in a certain type of way, bro.
That's one that I've yet to watch.
Oh, really? Have you seen ReZero?
Of course I have. I'm watching it right now.
ReZero, like that first season when it was the REM episode.
Oh yeah.
Where she just keeps dying and dying and dying. I think generally that's one of my favorite episodes in anime. And they had like that music in the background, bro, and I was just like, fuck, this is so tragic, bro.
Yeah.
Cause like she got possessed by like that demon lord, and then he went into the castle and saved her, and then he's like walking out from the castle holding her, and then you see like the dragon motherfucker break through. He's like, damn, bro.
There was wasn't there like a couple of scenes where like she was just, her body was absolutely just mutilated,
just mutilated on some shit, bro. Are you they're on season 3 right now, right?
I think that's season 3. I almost wanted to say 4, but yeah, I think
3
it's
or
season
4 or
3.
something like that.
Yeah.
How's it going so far?
It's really, really trippy.
Yeah.
Because it was like the first episode's an hour long again.
Okay.
And it's honestly, Subaru hasn't died too much outside like the first 2 episodes. So it's kind of like, I don't know, I guess it's building the stakes a little bit more right now, rather than knowing like, progress and he dies, and then progress and he dies, kind of like.
I got you.
Even though it's the same thing, they're kind of changing the formula up a little bit.
Okay, that's fair. Like, you know what I'm saying? Giving like the viewer something like fresh on that shit.
Yeah.
Okay, I remember actually I watched all of season 1, and I watched the first part of season 2, and I don't know whether it was like I was just busy with other shit, but I wasn't super engaged by like the beginning of season 2. It was like the whole like forest arc.
Yeah.
When they're in the forest. I don't know if you had a similar experience with it, but like for me, it wasn't the most engaging thing.
So when it came to season 2, there was, I would say, some good payoff. Like if you really wanted to see it through, then go for it.
Yeah.
But I'll be honest, it was really slow, and I couldn't figure out what direction they're going. Whereas like, dude, at least this one I'm watching right now, that first episode absolutely already set up the stakes, and it's already like crazy.
Fantastic. I just wanted to like see if I was like tripping on some shit, or like season 2 had like that same type of thing, bro.
It was slower, and it tried to world build a lot more, so it's awesome, but it definitely had a slower approach to it, so I don't blame you.
Gotcha. And then my last section, goat horror. And I'll let you, I'm gonna check the camera real quick.
Okay, yeah.
I'll let you think about your answer. Oh yeah, we're still rolling with big time.
Awesome.
How's your ass feeling? It's a little, it's touching the
feels
ground.
good. I just wanted to reach my water real quick.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna get my water also.
Horror
or thriller, or just something that just gets you on the edge of your seats.
Okay, so there was, I have to think about it. It's an obscure one.
Okay.
So it's going to be hard for me to kind of remember the name without like awkwardly scrolling through my phone. Because funny enough, I keep track of everything I watch.
All right, go on your phone. I talk about what I think my goat horror is.
You tell me real quick, and I'll look for it.
For me, it was more like dystopian, because I feel like we're headed that way in society. But Psychopaths.
Oh, that's an answer I was not expecting.
Yeah. But like that first season, where like they discover how everything works and how the psychopath's surveillance works, it was so trippy, because I feel like as humans, spoilers, but when they walk in and they see all the human brains and all that, I think that's where we're gonna head eventually as society. There's no machine that's more complex and more sophisticated than the human mind. And I think we're gonna get to a point where just we're used as computers, you know what I'm saying? And our like vision and our like data is just used to like judge others, or just make complex algorithms, or whatever the fuck.
You know, okay. Actually, I'm gonna kind of flip this on you, kind of like as a questionnaire. I watched the first 3 or 4 episodes. I only really at this point watch anime when, like kind of before bed, so it's kind of hard to kind of get into stuff before falling asleep. But I was trying to watch Psychopaths because I knew that like a movie came out recently or something like that. What would you say like in like 5 words, or like, you know, like a short sentence, like would be a good reason to just see it through?
I think it's a compelling argument about where our society is going.
Okay.
Especially like right now with like the prison system complex in America. Psychopaths is beautiful because you don't think you're a criminal, I don't think I'm a criminal, right? Yeah. But that's all up to interpretation. And maybe, let's say, down the line, right, in 100 years, society gets to the point where no one does anything sinful at all, right? But by that metrics, if society gets to that point where no one's doing anything sinful, then we'd be like the biggest criminals.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's all subjective in some manner. And I think the thing I loved most about the show was just how subjective society's opinion on you can be, and how like they can just kind of throw a blanket on you on some shit, right? Of how like, oh, you murdered someone, you're automatically a terrible person. Well, maybe there was some like context behind it. Maybe they were abusing you for years and years and years. Maybe they were doing some fuck shit. Oh, you hit someone, you're in the wrong. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think it kind of breaks the narrative of, even though you may have done something bad, doesn't mean you're necessarily a bad person. There's more to the context than just...
Right. Okay. And in that show in particular, like they can also like you have a score or
You have a score.
right?
And it literally has nothing to necessarily do with what you've done. It's just the psychopath surveillance. They'll scan you, Mark, and be like, oh, you're either good or you're a criminal.
Yeah.
And you'll get locked up for it.
Yeah, that's
Like a motherfucker could have like, I guess the genetics to be a criminal, but not be a criminal, you know what I'm saying? Or someone could be a saint, but then they just do some fuck shit.
yeah.
Yeah.
A majority, and then obviously like a lot of it, you find out like the system's probably corrupt in one way or another.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay. So to answer your question now, I found it on my phone.
Yeah.
It's really obscure. It's called Another.
Oh,
Yeah.
I think I've seen it. Is it the one where they go on the field trip to the house?
I don't think so.
Is it the girl with the iPad?
It is the girl with the
Okay,
iPad.
I've seen another.
Okay, then yeah.
I,
Was there a trip to the?
there was just like I do you remember like the couple ending episodes where like they're in the house and the shit goes crazy?
Okay, yeah, because you're
Yeah.
talking about the ending sequence. Okay, yeah. That one was.
That show is tripped out.
I watched the trailer for it. I was like, this shit made me uncomfortable, and so I watched it, and the way that they kind of, I think it wasn't even that scary in retrospect, but the way that I felt watching it for the first time, especially with the art direction and like, because there was a lot of drab colors, like it wasn't very vibrant for an anime especially, and then the way that they kind of set up the girl, like, you know, she's obviously fucking there, but then no one interacts with her, no one sees her, so you get this sense of like, okay, what's really going on in the world right now, and you kind of get confused. And obviously, I won't even lie, I started, I think I watched it when I was in junior year, so I think I was simping for the girl with the eye patch. I was like,
The original emo baddie?
yeah, the original emo baddie. So I was like, I don't want nothing bad to happen to her. And then as like her story kind of continued and stuff like that, then you kind of like, you're like, no, like don't hurt her or anything.
Exactly,
like
you
that.
get more sympathy for the shoddy.
Yeah,
You ever read the Junji Ito mangas?
that's the one thing I have not done.
Bro,
They actually tripped me the fuck out.
those shits are fucking crazy. Junji Ito, especially Uzumaki, is just so tripped out, bro.
I can't do it.
Like, really? You think you've seen some of the art for it, obviously,
I've seen
right?
the art. Obviously, I've seen like on the shirts and stuff.
Yeah.
But I've actually I'm kind of like, one of my friends like really huge into especially Uzumaki, so he has like the collection of like Junji Ito books and everything. So like he just kind of flipped to a random page like, oh, this is what I like. And I was like, bro, this makes me uncomfortable as is.
Yeah. But the art is just crazy,
Yeah.
bro. Genuinely, the art for Uzumaki, he also has written Tomi and Gyo and Ramina and all those, is just so, like, you look at that piece of art, that manga panel, and you're just like, fuck, bro.
Yeah.
And it invokes some type of like reaction within you. I wouldn't say the mangas are specifically like scary.
Right.
It's just the depictions just invoke something within you.
Yeah, I agree. Especially the one, Uzumaki's the one with the spirals, right?
The spiral, yeah. You see they made it into an anime
I was gonna say
recently?
they had the anime come out. I saw the advertisement on Adult Swim.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of bad reviews about it though.
Bad reviews?
Well, everyone just says like, oh, this is not like the manga. It doesn't invoke the same thing about the manga. I'm like, well, obviously, you know what I'm saying? It's like, if you're going from something where you're using your entire imagination to an animated form, like, it's gonna be different.
Yeah, that's fair.
Exactly like that. I think sometimes people are too critical to label an anime as bad just because it doesn't match the manga.
I think that's fair.
Sometimes that's the case, but like sometimes like they actually do fuck it up, like with the CGI Berserk.
Yeah, the CGI Berserk.
I don't understand because like Berserk is one of the greatest, it's the de facto GOAT manga.
Right.
Everyone's like Berserk is the GOAT manga, and the fact that they haven't been able to like figure it out for anime, just like, it just doesn't make any fucking sense to me.
It doesn't, and that's the one thing that I don't really understand, because it clearly, like, and a lot of mangakas, like, they will cite Berserk as the author specifically
As their inspiration.
So clearly, like, there's a lot of people that have respect for the IP. They have respect for, and obviously I know he passed, so you know, may he rest. But they have a lot of respect for the author himself, and it's like you said, it's just a genuine surprise that no one's able to really get it right. Obviously, I mean, they did a really good job with the 90s version of it.
Oh, you watched it?
I did.
Is it good?
It's really good, actually.
Damn,
And
bro.
I'm not a fan of like 90s era anime just because of, I think you can just tell like
Yeah.
the animation style, although beautiful because it's hand drawn, it's definitely dated.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So, it's not my go-to. But when I watched it, and I was actually watching it in Japan because I was just bored, it was like, damn, this is actually badass.
Yeah.
Like, it's really nice.
Some of that shit surprises me also because, like, Vagabond, they haven't animated that either. What's another big one they haven't animated? I'm trying to think. Oh, Homunculus, they haven't animated either.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of big ones that they still have yet to, like, just get it on. And, like, it makes sense because, like, there's just so many mangas and projects that they want to work on. There's so much limited people.
Right.
Like, bro, the mangaka are, like, them animators are already getting fucking worked, bro.
Yeah.
MAPPA is putting them to work,
is putting
bro.
them to work. They're never going home. Ever going home.
I already know as soon as they finish JJK season 2,
Yeah.
they're just like, hey, back to work, bro. Fuck you doing, bro? I think it was break time, bro.
Yeah, we got JJK 3 coming out.
Yeah, JJK 3. Fuck you mean, bro? But JJK 2 was phenomenal. Phenomenal.
It was awesome. I loved everything about it. The fight scenes had weight to it. It was great
Sukuna
motion.
versus Maharaga was crazy. Was
that
genuinely
shit
one of
was
the
awesome.
craziest fights I've ever seen, bro. When Megumi summons Maharaga and then Maharaga just go like just fucking smacks him like a fucking fly, bro.
Oh, that was awesome.
I was like, this is peak.
This is actually peak. What was the dude with the volcano head? I can't remember his
It was like Jogo.
name. Jogo. It was Jogo.
I like how they made it the inverse of Gojo.
Yeah. Jogo, when that fight happened, I was like, dude, everything about it was badass.
Beautiful, bro.
Beautiful fight. And then he got absolutely cooked.
And you could just tell Sukuna wasn't like trying for shit, bro.
Yeah.
He was just like vibing, bro. He was just like this motherfucker like have his fun, bro. Also, the Toji versus Gojo fights were just phenomenal, bro.
I didn't. So when it came to, obviously they labeled not JJK 0, but like obviously like the whole prequel thing.
Yeah, I understand. The first couple episodes of the season.
That I didn't understand where they were going with that,
Mm-hmm.
and because I didn't read it. I primarily don't read the mangas of the animes that I'm like watching. So when they popped that poor girl, I was actually like, what the fuck is going on?
They
dude?
killed that bitch so fast, bro.
You ever seen that meme where that dude's like, he has his hand up like this, like, and
Yeah.
they had me hitting that pose watching that shit, dude. it was
Bro,
so
especially when
tragic.
she gets popped and then Ghetto's face is just like, bruh.
Immediately his jaw hit the floor, and she
Yes,
died with
bro.
a smile, like it was a headshot too. I was like, what the fuck?
The thing that surprised me is how easily Toji was able to beat Ghetto.
Yeah.
Because I always like thought like Ghetto's always like top dog, but it kind of just shows how Toji was just that fucking raw, bro.
Yeah.
Bro, especially when bro, I think one of my favorite sequences is when Toji gets reanimated in the middle of season 2.
Yeah.
He goes into like that ocean dimension and just starts fucking shit up with his nunchucks.
Cooking everybody.
Oh my god, bro. Oh my, so peak, bro.
Honestly, good. And Toji also, like, obviously because I watch so much stuff, like my brain gets fried, but he also cooked the shit out of Gojo the first time around, right?
Yeah, first time he fucking smoked him on some shit, bro.
Yeah, then that's how he found, like, oh, like when you take blue and red and infinite mass, you put them together, you get hollow purple.
Exactly, bro. And then you have Gojo being like high on some shit, bro. He's like laughing to himself, bro.
Yeah.
I was reading something by the author of JJK, and he was talking about how whenever, okay, if you notice this, in JJK, whenever a sorcerer breaks their limits, they had this like high-esque reaction.
Yeah.
Like Megumi had it when he's about to summon Maharaga.
Right.
Gojo has it. And the author of JJK was like, the reason why I did it that way was because if someone is able to transcend to that next level, they're gonna do it when they're on the brink of death.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And like it makes complete sense to me. Like if a motherfucker is really on the brink of death at a fight and they're really gonna go to that next level that they've never done before, they're not gonna do it being all composed and
Yeah,
shit.
they're not gonna be sane about it.
Exactly. They're
Yeah.
gonna be like fucking like tripping on some shit, bro. Like they're tripping off Molly or some crazy shit, bro. But I was gonna ask you, bro, we've both seen a shit ton of anime, and we both had anime recommended to us.
Yeah.
Do you have one that you watched that's loved by the community that you just weren't that big of a fan of?
I could be an absolute asshole and rip the shit out of One Piece, but there's too much of it to really kind of break down, and for me, hating it, it's just a matter of there's too much content.
Okay.
One that I watched that I genuinely didn't like.
What's the I'm trying to remember the name of it. Gintama. I watched Gintama and I just was not a big fan of it at all.
Okay, in that case, there was, I have issues with comedy animes.
Okay.
Mainly, or slice of life animes. So that opens the door for a bunch of different things. But I think the one that I dropped immediately because I hated the art style was Mob Psycho.
Oh, fair. I didn't think Mob Psycho was that.
I didn't think it was that good.
I didn't think it was and motherfuckers grind on that shit, bro.
Dude, they swear by it.
They swear. I watched season 1. I've seen season 2. I think it's good. I think there's interesting characters, but I don't think it's anything more than good.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers they swear by it on some crazy shit, but I really just don't get it. Maybe because it has that appeal where the main character doesn't really give that much of a fuck, and I feel like there's better shows where the character doesn't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think Mashley.
I was actually gonna kind of shit on Mashley too.
Oh really?
I didn't like it too much, but I think I was about to say Psyche K, Mashley, and then I was gonna. But
you don't fuck with Psyche K?
I don't think the humor's there all the time.
I love Psyche K.
I know you do. That's why I didn't want to mention
it. I fucking love Psyche K.
We talked about it. I rewatched it up to a certain point. I was like, this shit's boring again.
That's fair. Psyche K is not for everyone. It's really retard humor. You know what I'm saying? It's retard. The jokes don't hit at all. Especially a lot of the characters are annoying. They serve no purpose. But I think it's just so retarded that's why I fuck with it, bro.
Dude, I think. It's fun to Mashley as well. It's fun to digest. That's one of the few shows I'd watch dub.
Okay.
Just so I could put it on the TV, maybe get some shit done, or I can eat in the background and not really pay attention to all the subs and shit.
Yeah.
And then I can enjoy the humor.
I've been fucking with dub a lot more, lot more because obviously when you're a kid growing up, everyone watches subtitles and all that. But now it's just I'm doing so much bullshit throughout the day. I'm fucking filling up gas, or just cooking or eating, or I'm working on sending emails out. I don't got time to just be locked in. You know what I'm saying? I just don't have the time for it anymore. I have to listen to shit in English nowadays, bro.
And especially in my specific case, I find myself driving a lot. And my go-to, of course, I am not gonna lie, I'm definitely I swear by sub, but I'm opening up to dub more often. And I admit, if I was to watch dub, I could put that shit on, even if I'm not watching. I don't even really need to watch what the fuck's going on. If it's a comedy, especially, I could put it on over my car speakers and keep my phone really away from me and just enjoy the humor in it. Or that would be.
It just gives you more options to enjoy the media.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
And you can consume it in different ways.
Absolutely. I wanted to touch on something, bro. Okay. And I know you did this in the past, and I was wondering, do you think you'd ever get back into streaming?
Okay, that's actually I had anticipated this question.
Really?
To be honest, I did.
Oh damn.
So when it comes to streaming or anything like that, I think, and I was talking to Pomvi with it recently actually, because we were just. To be honest, he asks me this question every day.
Oh, Pomvi does?
Every single day.
Pomvi does that, bro. Pomvi will ask you, oh, you been working on this? How's it going for you? But that's why I love him, you know what I'm saying? He really pushes you to, pursue more. And
he's got good points. Obviously you want to do it while you're young, or you want to do it while you don't have responsibilities, all that stuff, and I agree. So, without being too deep about it, and I'm okay with being deep, but, obviously, just say it how it is. I kind of catch myself a little bit more often these days, not necessarily being the happiest person in the world. and I've kind of been going through the motions a little bit. I'd say these past few months, just kind of out of nowhere, just random slumps and stuff like that. And I purchased all my streaming stuff again, and not purchased, smaller things to make my streaming stuff a lot easier, especially with my newer household arrangement and everything like that, because it's a very compact house that I share with my family, my sister, my dad, and my stepmom. So I guess one factor for sure is I definitely don't feel privacy. I can only stream or I feel comfortable most streaming when no one's there. But God forbid anyone's in the living room, because my setup's in the living room. So it's a little bit stressful. Okay, well now I have to watch what I'm playing, watch what I'm saying. So it's very restrictive in that sense. But another thing is definitely when it comes to streaming specifically, the best streamers either pretend to be happiest the best or are happiest.
Gotcha.
And for me, I guess it's a little hard to stream when I'm not. I haven't really found that nice middle ground, so it's a little hard for me to really stream or feel like I'm being productive or entertaining when I'm not necessarily the happiest me.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
I'm still a nerd to this day, so I love Five Nights at Freddy's, even as a grown fucking adult. They had dropped a newer game called Into the Pit. When that came out and I played it, I had joy. It was awesome. And then the moment I finished it, I was like, well, fuck, now I don't know what to do anymore.
Yeah.
So...
Did you stream that the first time you played? I remember, because what was it, a year ago? You were streaming for a couple weeks, right?
Yeah, weeks. And that was... So I actually started that was, I think, 2 months ago.
Okay.
I had done that. About a year ago, odds are I was doing Elden Ring. Because that's when I was happiest playing Elden Ring.
Okay.
And then again, when I beat that, I was like, well, fuck, what do I do?
How long did it take you to beat that? Because I know that's a historically just long-ass game, bro.
I think I had clocked it in. I think to beat it, it took me about 45 hours the first time around. No, no. Because it's hard to tell because I did a lot of XP farming. So that's the equivalent of being AFK. But I would say I had in total clocked 70 hours, but I think in reality it took me about 45 to 50.
Okay.
But the DLC I have yet to beat because the actual last boss fight's bullshit. And now I think I'm running about 116 hours and I haven't beat it yet.
God damn,
yeah, but
bro.
so 36 hours added. Or no, that's about 46 hours.
That's
added.
dedication to the craft.
But in terms of streaming or content creation in general, I do have a lot of ideas that I'd love to work with. I think I realized, I wouldn't say behind the camera is my deal, but I love editing.
Okay.
I have, even when it came to filming in Japan, I have so much backlog stuff I could just do whenever. Of course, that just requires me to actually sit down. I might need it. Yeah. Mind you, I have a prescription for it, but I might need to just take some Adderall and actually fucking do it.
Fair.
But I think, and that Adderall prescription, by the way, is also recent. So those are all things that could benefit me or actually
I got you.
actually kind of fix the problem.
I'm glad though that your mindset is on going back to it. You know what I'm saying? And that you want to explore it again. And I'm glad you haven't it makes complete sense what you're saying. It's you don't want to almost corrupt what you enjoy doing by forcing yourself to do it.
Yeah.
That makes complete sense to me. And do you I understand what Pomvi's saying completely, but do you feel as though with streaming or content creation, you almost have a ticking time bomb? Because eventually no one wants to watch a 30-year-old motherfucker do shit, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, unless they're on TikTok and they're showing off their kids.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. Here's a little Billy Bob.
Yeah, I was, on a side note, I was watching this chick, and obviously it was one of those TikTok ads for something from the TikTok shop.
Yeah.
But she's get ready, or watch me make there's a very Hispanic dish too, my mini cucumber salad, which was just fucking lemon juice and just tahini powder on it.
That sounds fire. That sounds fire.
And I look at her account and I was like, who's this fucking old ass lady on my feed right now? It's a mom with her child showing off her content.
Bro, this is a side point, but your nails are fire.
Oh,
bro.
yeah. I got them done yesterday. I actually had seen the lady doing my stuff. Obviously, I know it's on October only, usually. But she actually had the breast cancer awareness stuff on her, or the ribbon on her nails.
Yeah.
And I had just asked, straight up, I'm like, you know what? I know it's November, but can you put that on my nails, please?
Damn, type shit, bro. Representing, bro.
Obviously, I don't think you can see it, but yeah.
I hope all the motherfuckers with breast cancer get done with that shit, bro. That's actually
Yeah.
such a terrible thing to endure and have, bro.
Yeah.
God bless them all.
And of course, we definitely got to get back to your question, but this is going to be really oddly deep, but it's actually good news now.
Okay.
So yesterday, this is why I kind of felt a little bit compelled to kind of like do something that related to cancer. So yesterday, my grandmother in Mexico, she has a brain tumor.
I'm sorry to hear
Yeah,
that.
and she already, it's something. It's kind of like one after the other. So she has a brain tumor. She already has dementia. Don't know if it's caused by the tumor or anything like that, and it's progressively gotten worse over the past 5 years. Yesterday was her brain surgery. It was a 10-hour operation, and it was a 50-50 like coin toss whether or not she was going to live or die. Right? And meanwhile, like, my mom was texting me updates as I'm getting my nails done. So, like, mind you, like, everything in the moment, I was like, okay, I'm going to get breast cancer awareness on my thing, because I don't know if there's brain cancer awareness. But today, I actually got the news that she's going to, I wouldn't say make a full recovery, but she's going to live.
That's fantastic.
And that made me feel nice.
That's fantastic, bro. I'm so happy for
Yeah,
that.
she might have, because it was huge. They had to take a little chunk of her brain out, and I got to put a metal plate in her skull.
But she's alive. That's all that
she's
matters,
alive.
bro. She's thriving, bro. That's amazing.
She might lose a little bit of motor function. She
Okay.
definitely don't know if her left leg is going to be usable. She has blurry vision at the moment, but that's literally all the information I have on that right now.
How old is she?
She's relatively young I can't say relatively young. She's about 74.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
I mean, she's not like old, but she's definitely,
She's in that, like, that. She's like in that old in between. You know what I'm saying?
Like my white grandmother, she's 81 now.
Okay.
And outside of like AFib, relatively healthy. And you can definitely see like a difference in dynamic there.
I think that's something that's always scared me. Is like, I think once motherfuckers start to get old, it's just there's so much variety in what could happen to you.
Yeah.
Like, you could really deteriorate, or you could just be chilling on some shit, right?
Yeah.
And I think it's crazy that Trump is this old and like this like mobile and energetic. It's insane. Like, it's really, because like this motherfucker, like, for me, I get tired and I get like, my energy gets sapped quickly.
Yeah.
But like, this dude's like out here campaigning and doing the YMCA dance, and like he's getting zero sleep, and I'm just like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this motherfucker's old. He's not supposed to be like this mobile and active. You know?
Dude,
it really is like,
I couldn't be on the Joe Rogan podcast and then do that is a 3-hour
a 3-hour conversation.
Which, mind you, like, in terms of politics, I'm not super involved, but I consider myself independent. But
As do I also.
yeah. And I consider, like, when it came to that podcast, though, I was like, this is like the first time, and like, obviously, Vice President Harris, she did the one with I can't think of his name, Shannon Sharp.
Yeah.
But so I did check that out too. But I was so fucking surprised to see that a former president was on a 3-hour-long uninterrupted podcast, and which, by the way, power to the medium. But that shit blew my fucking mind, and I watched all 3 hours of it.
Yeah.
And that's when I was like, this old ass dude is actually pretty like,
and it's
on
crazy,
par.
bro. Like, he went on Aiden Ross's stream,
Which blew my mind as well, because I think he's a jackass.
Yeah, completely. But like, I think it's crazy how streaming and podcasting and just online independent journalism, in the sense, has gotten so much more validity than like all like the institutions.
Yeah.
Like, no one gives a fuck about CNN or Fox or CSNBC or whatever the fuck anymore. It's all like of these independent agents, and I think it's generally so cool because you know it's not corrupt on some shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just these people who started these platforms, who started these channels, and like they're able to have such tremendous outreach on some shit.
Yeah. And you know, it's crazy how we rounded it back to like social media and everything. You know, I definitely would argue, is it harder to get into it because of age? Yes. But it's not impossible.
It's not impossible by any means.
And I don't think there is a ticking time bomb. If you really have the idea, or you have the I'd say passion for it, then you can fucking do it.
Do you think getting big in streaming, right?
Okay.
Or content creation, Do you think it's talent? Do you think it's time in the game? Do you think it's luck? What do you think? Do you think it's strategy? How do you think people are able to like really explode on some shit? Because I know so many people and so many young motherfuckers around the world.
Yeah.
They want to get into it because I'm be honest, if you're a streamer, your life is goated.
Yeah.
Your life is absolutely goated. And I hate when fucking streamers are complaining about their lives because you have a goated lifestyle.
Yeah.
So what do you think it is?
So, for sure luck. But I think it's a mix of everything that you mentioned.
Yeah.
But definitely, I would say luck and strategy are going to be the top two.
Mm-hmm.
Because, to build and time in the game. So it's going to take time in the game for sure to see any sort of gains and any positive momentum. People can go 1, 2, 3, 4 years without even really passing 100, 500, 1,000, subscribers, followers, whatever. So over time, you're gonna go fluctuate. You're gonna see different things here and there. So that's gonna be, time right there. But that's on the bottom of the totem pole. Luck, obviously. No one's guaranteed a hit sensation or to be a hit sensation. No one's guaranteed to be a part of a viral clip or anything like that. So the actual virality and everything like that, that's lucky.
Mm-hmm.
But you can curve luck in your way a little bit with a good strategy, which is finding a way to separate yourself from the others.
Mm-hmm.
I think Kai Cenat was one of the first people to really do that.
Mm-hmm.
And that was by being genuine. Obviously, genuine people exist on the platform, but him specifically was being genuinely a funny dude to watch, not really changing up his personality for anybody. Like Aiden Ross, for instance, he had time in the game, all that stuff, and then he got lucky by having this person come on, and then they vouched for him and had more famous people come on. Cool, he kind of started that, if I remember correctly. But you could definitely argue that he changed his personality and all that stuff.
Completely, bro.
Completely. And then that's where Kai comes in, and obviously I know that they were close with Aiden, and then, there was a momentum shift where, all of a sudden now you have more artists kind of let's check out Kai and, all that stuff, and you can see the way he was interacting with famous people, that he was himself, and that was enjoyable to watch. And,
absolutely. Also, the thing I respect about Kai Cenat is, for the longest time, streaming was done the same way.
Yep.
Motherfuckers sit at their desk, they have their camera on, people come on their stream, but the amount of money and effort he puts into his streams, whether it's his Elden Ring thing.
Oh my god!
And his entire background is just Elden Ring theme.
Yep.
Or it's his Kim K commercial, or whatever the fuck. I think I really respect him because it's exactly what you're saying. It's you're curving luck in your way. He is doing things that no one else is doing.
Yep.
Therefore, he's garnering the results that no one else is garnering.
And a lot of people think, obviously, and I get it. When you get money, when you first get a little bit of money, especially if you come from situations where you have nots, when to be able to have the, oh shit, I can have this shit, it's easy to kind of want to you kind of blow it all away, right? But what Kai did, from what I could observe, of course I'm not his personal accountant or anything like that, I don't know the guy, is you could definitely tell he was reinvesting the money that he was starting to make and reinvesting it back into the platform. And like you had said, the production quality got that much better. He's paying his editing team. He's paying, the people that, actually I would say farm his clips and everything like that. And makes it more enjoyable to watch. And then obviously the sets and everything, he's genuinely a visionaire.
I think the thing that's interesting about streaming or just online personas is once you've made it, it's kind of exponential growth.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people, it's crazy because if you become a big streamer or a big podcaster, the internet kind of does the rest for you. People will start clipping your shit. People will start talking about your shit. It just, are you prepared for that explosive rise on some shit?
Yeah.
And it could happen any second so fast. I think a great example of it is Jason the Ween. You know what I'm saying?
Oh fuck! I actually don't like that guy, but I can respect how far he's come.
It's crazy because I feel a year ago, no one really knew who the fuck he was.
He was just being made fun of on Discord streams.
And then now he's just collabing with New Jeans, bro.
Collabing-
That I'm jealous of. Like, New Jeans is fire, bro.
I don't even like K-pop like that, but New Jeans specifically, I actually like New Jeans.
Ditto, ETA, they have bangers.
Dude,
they actually have bangers.
Good fucking songs. And I didn't even realize he collabed with them, by the way. That's how little I fucking follow the guy. But that's badass. And
Why don't you like him? Is there like?
I think it's the humor.
Okay.
The humor for sure. It's not my deal, but I'm not like really a white knight for when it comes to like how people are treated or anything like that. But like I had mentioned, like he definitely was. He just went from being clowned on in Discord streams and having like these random like, I would say, interactions with like strangers on these things, like maybe like the e-dating stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And he went from that or kind of being clowned on to actually having a little bit more substance and actually gaining notoriety and collabing with FaZe and everything like that. And he's a part of the house, right? Or no?
I think so, but it's kind of crazy that Rice Gum was doing all this shit so many years ago.
Rice Gum, if he wasn't...
If Rice Gum, bro, like, Rice Gum was really doing, like, this shit so long ago. You know what I'm saying? Like, that motherfucker was really an innovator on some shit, bro. And people don't give him credit for that.
If he wasn't the way he was when he was younger, I genuinely think he could have been, I'd say, a bigger force today.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. He definitely could have been on like some like KSI, Logan Paul type like, you know, like the celebrity influencers?
Yeah.
I think he was headed towards that. I think it's just that I think when you make yourself so outlandish, and that's what he was trying to do, and that was part of his strategy.
Yeah.
It's just you get a lot of like targets on your back.
And I think that's a testament to when you're trying to navigate the internet. Do you want to be infamous or do you want to be famous? Because infamy, like, that's the quickest way to get clicks and everyone watching your shit. But at the end of the day, is it gonna last? No,
Absolutely.
Probably not. You know.
Absolutely.
Like, and I fucking hate this guy genuinely. I think is it Johnny Somali or Jason Somali or something like that?
I don't know who the fuck that is.
So brief rundown of this guy. I'm gonna say Johnny Somali.
Johnny Somali.
He is I'm gonna assume American, but I don't know for sure. An American streamer that didn't really have much going on for him over here. He's kind of like a troll.
Okay.
Went to fucking Japan on some Logan Paul shit. Live streamed his shit and he disrespected the fucking country to the point he actually got kicked out of Japan.
That's crazy.
He's in South Korea now.
Doing the same bullshit.
Same bullshit. Everyone in Japan knows this guy and hates him because my Japanese homies actually like hate the fucking guy because I forgot exactly what he did or what he was doing, but he genuinely was disrespecting like people in the country and yelling at everybody, like old people and shit like that.
That's crazy.
Did that shit in South Korea. South Korea has now banned him from leaving the country, and he has to face trial. And if he is found guilty, he's going to be put in jail for 10 years.
Valid.
Yeah.
Valid, bro. I think it's like crazy that these influencers or streamers just think they can do whatever the fuck they want on some shit and face no repercussions, bro. And I'm honestly so surprised that Logan Paul never faced repercussion for his like suicide forest shit, bro.
Yeah, because you had mentioned it earlier, and I was like, you know, he really got a slap on the wrist in the grand scheme of things. I think all he is banned from being in Japan.
Like, this motherfucker deadass filmed a dead person, mocked it, and then posted it on YouTube.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because he did like, I remember like I saw like the blurred version, and he was doing like thumbnail like poses and shit like that. And
with the stupid alien cap.
I'm just like, fuck, bro.
And then, and that's not even what originally kicked him out of the country either. It was when the video, like, obviously that was a big thing, but another thing was like there was just video evidence of him just being a dick in Japan, where he had like the raw fish and he was like popping it on cars.
It just, I think it's just crazy the things that people are willing to do for power, and I think a lot of that can like be seen on social media. Like, it kind of goes back to like the whole like light yagami thing we were talking about, but when people realize that they're able to get some power out of doing a specific task or action, all of their morality just goes out the fucking window.
Yep.
Like, so fast on some shit, bro. Especially when it comes to online bullshit, bro. It's just like, man, like, that's the thing I fucking hate about the internet is like some people who do not deserve it at all
Yeah.
Like they have clout, and I'm just like, fuck, bro, why? Like, why on some shit? Like, let my boy Marcus get that shit, bro.
That's the exact way I had felt with internet as it's evolved. Things change and things don't. This issue has been going on for a long time. I mean, do you remember Boot Gang?
Yes, bro.
Yeah, like people.
You know he's
like,
Christian now, Bunke?
What the fuck?
He's like a full diehard Christian, bro. Like he has like church sermons and shit like that.
Okay, I'll give it to the guy. If
Hey,
he's genuinely changed.
Full 180, bro.
Yeah, if he's genuinely changed, even if it's for the sake of religion or anything like that, or just not going to fucking jail again.
Yeah. Bunke, what the fuck wrong with you? And he just runs out the fucking barbershop, bro.
Yeah, I think that's fine. People can change. I think people just deserve the ability to be able to change. But like, downright in the internet, like it's just fucked up. And fuck Logan Paul.
I have this question prepared.
Okay.
And I think we're at that like area right now. Do you think for society,
Okay.
streaming is a net positive or a net negative? And I want to give you some examples. Streaming can do a lot of things. It can bring awareness to topics, but it can bring awareness to the wrong things. For example, a lot of streamers are getting paid to promote gambling to kids. They're paid and they're monetized to promote OnlyFans models.
Yeah.
And the majority of people watching these streams are kids because they have like the time to watch it. So what do you think overall, net negative or net positive streaming?
You could apply this to the internet as a whole, but I would probably argue, unfortunately, I think streaming and social media as a whole has kind of contributed like a net negative.
I would agree.
Because we are the most connected people to this, like around the world in this day and age, and yet studies show that we feel the most isolated.
Yeah.
And sure, COVID had a lot to do with that, but like even then, if we're so connected, we were never alone, so to speak. And now, in reality, I think COVID also showed us just realistically like the facade of the internet and made us realize like, hold on, like we actually need human interaction to actually feel whole again. Because in reality, like it's just not, it's not really doing good for like the overall mental health of people, and down to like the actual streaming, because I was almost talking about social media as a whole. You could definitely see that, what you had said was actually something I would have brought up. The majority of the people that have the time to watch it are kids. So now you see kids you have these kids idolizing these streamers, seeing them do crazy stunts and crazy shit like Mr. Beast, for instance, but obviously not a streamer, and expect like, oh, if I do that, I can be just like this person.
Yeah.
And
they look up to these people. These people
look up
are
to
like
these
their role models, their idols on some shit.
Yeah. And in reality, like, you and I, even though I don't know if it's scientifically true, don't necessarily have our prefrontal cortex developed all the way because we're 22, right?
Yeah.
We can definitely tell, like, okay, this is all for like the stunts and the shows.
All for the money,
yeah,
all for the camera.
money. Like, this
exactly.
isn't necessarily something that you would do day to day and expect results out of. But these kids, they don't see it that way, and you can see them acting up a lot more. I mean, there's so many. And granted, TikTok might be skewed, but there's a lot of teachers coming out just saying like, kids these days are fucking menaces.
They're absolutely menaces. Our boy Nathaniel, he's a substitute teacher right now.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he's been doing that and he loves it. But he's like, these kids are absolutely out of control.
Yeah.
And they get this influence through the people that they watch online.
Yeah.
If the kids are watching people perk 30s and and just doing like the absolute craziest shit, they're gonna replicate that behavior in real life. Because if my idol, if my hero is doing that, then why can't I? And by exhibiting those behaviors, you're almost manifesting that you are that person.
Yep.
And YouTube has a lot of restrictions for kids so that kids aren't like badly corrupted.
Yeah.
But streaming sites don't. Especially fucking Kick and Rumble.
Oh,
they let motherfuckers do whatever the fuck they want. And it's so disheartening because I watched this video where a bunch of like kids were being asked like, oh, who's your crush? And like 90% of the kids said Brekkie Hill.
Oh god. Well, that's got to be like the brain rot shit.
That,
for
but,
sure
but
on
like
TikTok.
100%. But like,
Yeah.
it's just crazy that like their crush is an OnlyFans model. You know
Is
what I'm
Brecky
saying?
Hill an OnlyFans model? I thought Brecky Hill was
Jinx is
a
like
gymnast.
Yeah, no, she isn't.
Oh, dead ass.
Yeah. That's Livy Dunn.
Oh, that's Livy Dunn.
Brecky Hill is like the girl that like be imitating Livy Dunn, and like she's just straight an OnlyFans
Oh,
model.
you're right.
And I'm just like,
I'm old.
These middle school kids just like, that's like, they're like de facto, you know what I'm saying? When
Yeah.
I was in middle school, it was like, oh, Selena Gomez or Jennifer Aniston, you know what I'm saying?
I was making Fox. I don't know.
Hey, bro, do you see that new, the robot movie she came out in?
No, I didn't actually.
Yeah, I heard it's hella good.
Wait.
low-key.
The Wild Robot?
Not the Wild I've seen the Wild Robot, though.
That movie's so fucking bad.
It's so fucking good, bro. The Wild Robot's fantastic. Anora, have you seen that?
No.
That's also fantastic.
Is it also an animated movie?
It's not animated. It's about this sex worker, and she
Okay.
meets up with this Russian billionaire, and like all of the escalades that go along with that.
Kind of like, wait, does that kind of end up like a Pretty in Pink kind of situation?
I've never seen Pretty in Pink, but it ends up with her just in a different world than what she's used to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'll probably watch that. Before we move on to the next question, definitely live streaming net negative.
Net negative.
I
I
definitely,
agree.
and even outside of just the kids, I think, because I know we focus mainly on the kids, but I mean even then, like adults as a whole, there's definitely. I don't think there's anything wrong with live streaming because obviously there are people that are not the most social, or there's people that physically cannot be out and about or socialize in a way that, like, you know, you would say, atypical or typical
Yeah,
people would
absolutely.
be able to. So I get that, and it does give them a place to feel normal. Obviously, I mean, you could look at VTubers and stuff like that with within the anime community, how big they got. But
VTubers are huge,
they're
bro.
huge.
And I recently just learned about it a few months ago. Like
Oh, what?
I literally didn't know what they were, and they're fucking ginormous, bro.
Huge.
And I'm just like, it's crazy because like there's like a motherfucker, like this is like a computer animation, but like
Yeah.
they're so big on some shit, bro.
Dude, one of them they had a whole night dedicated to them at Dodger Stadium. VTuber night at Dodger Stadium. And if you look up the 7-inning like song that they do, which is the Take Me Out to the Ball Game,
Yeah.
it's the VTuber
Singing it?
Singing it.
That's so wait, this is my understanding of VTubers, right?
Yeah.
So I would go hire someone to like make me like a virtual avatar.
Yeah.
And then I chat with my fans through it, or like
Yeah.
does the VTuber talk?
Yeah.
But no one knows who the actual like person is.
Yes.
So even for the biggest motherfucker, no one knows who it
Like-
is.
Yeah, pretty much. And it's definitely a good way to keep anonymity. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Because obviously, let's keep it honest. Live streaming as a whole, you could argue it's either A, you're really good looking,
Yeah.
or you're really good at what you're fucking doing.
Exactly.
And obviously being funny and all that stuff is important, but like people kind of look at like either the skill or your looks. So for VTubers, I would argue that it's pretty cool. You could have, and there's a name Iron Mouse. She's actually
I've heard of Iron
yeah,
Mouse.
she's disabled,
Oh really?
and she's like really sick, and like her, like I believe an autoimmune disorder, right?
Damn.
So she can't even really interact with people like that, or else she could die, kind of shit.
So like her VTuber is basically like her second chance at life on some shit.
Yeah, and she is a fucking, I guarantee, like multi-millionaire, and she can be in places and do things without having to be there and missing out. So you know what I mean? That's a net fucking positive for sure.
Yeah, no, definitely, bro. She gave herself like she would not have been able to work,
Yeah.
live, make friends, but now she's able to do it through the internet. And that's the thing I love about the internet. It's given so many people a second chance at life on
Yes.
some shit, bro. And it's given people the ability to express their talents and their skills and their just abilities on some shit.
Yeah.
And I think that's so fucking beautiful, bro. I think it's so fucking beautiful. My favorite streamer, I don't even know what the fuck his name is that one motherfucker in New Zealand who carves wood.
Oh yeah.
I love that dude, bro. I fucking love that dude. Is so clutch. Like that's the type of streamer I
Yeah.
really respect on some shit.
Yeah, you know, and it's so easy to focus on the negative because yeah, people are going to be isolated. You have people like idolizing, and I don't have any direct issue with like sex workers or anything like that. But like, you can't be idolizing OnlyFans girls.
Bruh, you literally can't. Like, bruh, if you want to be an OnlyFans shawty, go do it. Get your bag, do your thing. But like, we do not need kids idolizing that. You know what I'm saying, bro?
And you're definitely not doing anything good for the society, because like, yes, the market exists. If the market exists and you know you can make money, do it. I support that notion. But you also have to admit the actual market itself, like, you know, it's definitely detrimental to most people that interact with it in one way or another.
Gotcha. Absolutely.
It's detrimental to the models themselves. Obviously, they run into the most disgusting fucking human beings on earth. And on the other hand,
you're gonna get that when you
exactly
put yourself on that corner of the internet.
Exactly. But at the same time, then you are also gonna have people codependent on these fans, and they don't even have any chance of social, like, actual, like, love and stuff like that, you know?
It's insane because, like, realistically, bro, I wouldn't get with an OnlyFans shawty. Maybe
I would. I ain't gonna lie. I would.
Okay, I was having this discussion with my homie, right?
Right.
If you get with an OnlyFans shawty, are you gonna force her to retire?
No.
She can still do her thing?
Hey, look, my thought is this. If I met her and she's already in her bag, who am I to be like,
stop,
go get a 9 to 5?
Yeah. But like, what if her bag is like her fucking other dudes on camera?
Then at that point, obviously, you know, you have to. There's solo people like that, but like, if that's the case,
because there's a lot of discrepancy in OnlyFans. There's some people that just like talk on there or post bikini photos, and then there's some people that just like deep throating on some shit.
You know, if she was like, yo, you'd be my perfect half, I'd be like, so. But like, if she's like, what's that? If she's like, oh yeah, but like, I want to collab with Jason Love one day, I'm like, no.
I still can't believe Adam22 let his shawty do that, bro.
God.
It definitely was like a ploy to get rid of his like allegations.
Oh, no, 1000%. He's guilty of all that underage shit for sure. And it's so crazy how fast, you know, people are like, cuck 22. And in reality, like, it was all, like you said, just a ploy to kind of get away from the allegations.
That's crazy, bro. He literally let his wife just get dicked down on some shit just to like beat allegations.
Yep. I mean, it is what it is. It's smart, I guess. I don't know.
That is true. It's like, at a certain point, it's like, what's more valuable, like your entire career or like your wife getting fucked?
Yeah, obviously, you got to choose the career.
You got to choose the career because, like, at the end of the day, that's like how you're sustaining your family, your lifestyle. It's like, but having to put away your dignity as a man is crazy.
It's crazy.
Work.
No one's brought up pedo 22 in a while.
It's gonna come back, though.
It's gonna come back.
I think eventually, like, every negative thing comes back to like an influencer at some point. Yeah. I'm surprised it hasn't come back to Logan Paul. I'm not gonna lie, bro. But like, honestly, like, Logan Paul might be like a discussion of this like podcast, but like, how is he still like around on some? Like, what he did was so egregious, bro.
Everything he does is egregious, and like, cause he even scammed his fans out of like,
wait, that crypto shit is crazy, bro.
Like, what the fuck? And then no one talked about it. He has a multi-million-dollar, I wouldn't want to say billion, but I don't think that's right, a multi-million-dollar company in Prime.
This dude makes tens of millions of dollars a year, and he still felt the need to scam his fans. It's crazy, bro.
Yeah, like, what?
And then when, what's his name? CoffeeZilla?
I love CoffeeZilla.
When he exposed him, he attacked the motherfucker, bro.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, he didn't even just own up to his shit. He was just like, oh, shit, like, you're wrong. I'm like, bro, like, what the fuck?
Fuck Logan Paul, man.
Fuck Logan Paul. I might title this, fuck Logan Paul.
Yeah, that's fine, dude. Fuck Logan Paul. That's the notion of the day.
I started this segment on my podcast called Under or Over the Canopy, right?
Okay.
And essentially, you can choose which direction we go in. If you want to do both, we can do both.
Okay.
Under the Canopy is I'm asking you like really deep, heartfelt questions. Over the Canopy is just some retarded shit. Just some like real like goon shit. If you want to do both, we can do both. If you want to do one or the other, we can do one or the other.
I want to do both for sure, but I'm down to start with Under the Canopy.
Let's do it? Okay, I just want to make sure I'm still recording.
Sure thing. That's a water break opportunity.
Oh yeah, perfect opportunity.
Awesome.
And we're an hour 15 in. Let's get this going.
All right.
I'm excited for this. This is my favorite segment of the podcast.
Okay.
I did it with Mardell for the first time, and like I think that was the best part of our podcast, except for the fucking mic spikes.
The mic
and all
spikes.
Okay.
Okay.
I think a big part of what we talked about was anime.
Yeah.
And we talked a tiny bit about cinema here and there. But is there one piece of fiction or cinema or art that broke you due to its relatability?
Ooh, that is a good one. To be honest, I definitely try to separate myself from media a lot because I actually have a fear of that.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the one movie, or this is going to sound really fucking dumb. Really, really fucking dumb. The one movie that really had me fucked up for a while,
Mm-hmm.
and to this day I admit, like, one of the few movies that genuinely had me bawling, granted I was a kid, was Marley and Me.
Oh, that shit is sad, bro.
Yeah. And is it due to relatability? No. But the reason why I'm saying that's the one thing that genuinely broke me, like, at that time, and like is a deep reminder to me as a day, as silly as it fucking sounds, it reminded me, it had taught me at that moment and reminded me that unfortunately in life, everything is impermanent.
Mm-hmm.
And everything around you, the people around you, of course it's really nihilistic to say that, but like, you know, like your animals and your family members, your friends, or nothing is permanent and nothing is bound to last. Because obviously I watched this fucking movie with this cute ass dog. I'm like, holy shit, this would be the best movie ever.
And the fact that they chose the cutest dog, like a golden retriever, right?
Yeah.
Was it? Oh my god,
and
bro.
the fucking dog died.
So sad.
And I was like, what the fuck? And you can imagine, I think I was 7 at the time. I was like, holy shit.
Things died.
And to this day, that's like the genuine core memory of like, damn, things die.
Things die.
That's like a super surface level way to put it. I even like sometimes catch myself looking at my dogs. I'm like, damn, in like 4 years, like or hopefully not, but you know, 5 to 6 years, like my dogs aren't gonna be around. You know what I mean? Or like I think about my dad. I'm like, shit, he's not getting any younger.
Yeah.
And I think that's pretty much the movie that started that whole mental process.
Yeah. No, I think for especially what you touched about in the last part, like your parents getting older and shit like that. Yeah. It's like I'm getting older and I'm growing, but also my parents are at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think it's just a trippy part that like your perception of reality, of you progressing through it, people also experience that. You know what I'm saying? Like you're progressing through time and I'm progressing through time and everyone in this park is as well. And there's a word for it. It's called sonder. It's the realization that people experience the same things as you. That they have the same happiness, the same pain, the same sadness, and all that. And
I didn't know there was a word for that, by the way.
It's a beautiful word, bro.
It's a beautiful word.
Sonder. My next question kind of goes into like life and its progression and all that.
Okay.
How satisfied are you really in life right now?
That's a good one.
And you know, you could give a numerical like 1 to 10. You could just talk about it.
So, I think it depends on what mental state I'm in, usually. Sometimes it feels like a straight like 0, or other times it's like a solid 8.5. And I think right now I'm definitely saying 8.5. And I'll put both perspectives into retrospect. One is I'm thankful for everything I have. I'm grateful. I didn't have a lot of things growing up. Just for like a brief rundown, me, my sister, and my mom, it was after my dad and my mother got divorced. Mm-hmm. We moved to Downey, and we shared one bedroom together, pretty much out of my mom's then best friend house. And we all shared the same fucking small ass bed, slept there. You know, obviously we were blessed in the sense that we had friends to take care of us, because then eventually my mom had to go to school again. We didn't have rides to school or anything like that, and you know, we didn't have shit. Like we were eating my mom's friend's food. Mm-hmm. in retrospect. And on the other end of my dad and everything like that, he barely had it. After he went through his motions and got a divorce from his third wife, he couldn't afford shit. he was, you know, having to pay alimony or whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah.
And we, you know, like we were trapping out the Dollar Tree pretty much, and I felt like the happiest times in my life, by the way.
Yeah.
But looking back, I'm like, damn, I didn't have nothing, right? So where I'm going with that is, from then to now, is someone that is able to live at home, not have to worry about paying rent, maybe have to pay the internet bill here and there, but that's neither here nor there. I have a car. My mother is offered, even though I don't, you know, to pay my insurance, and I, you know, my phone bill. She's like, well, you know, you're still my kid, and I was like, I can take care of it, and I probably could be more forceful with it, but whatever. And knowing that I'm 22 and I've had the chance to go to Japan twice. I've been to Korea once. I've been to all these concerts, you know what I mean? Like all these crazy things that in the moment don't feel that great, but when you really think about it, all these people have, you know, can dream of doing. It makes me feel privileged, and it makes me feel like I'm definitely in a direction of like, holy shit, I've got experiences under my belt. I have friends that genuinely care for me. I have a girlfriend that loves me, and all that stuff like that. And these are things that not everyone has or experiences, or, you know, will ever get to experience in some instances. So for that, I feel great. And I feel like I have all these things to be thankful for, and it, you know, it keeps me on earth. Not on earth. That sounded depressing. Like, it keeps me grounded, and that's great. I think the couple of things that make me feel like I'm not necessarily as happy is just like, I guess, like my personal motivation to accomplish things is like pretty much at an all-time low. And because I feel like I haven't accomplished anything, I'm kind of in a deep cycle of like, oh, I'll never finish it, I'll never do it, I'll never do that. And that's the clear reason why I'm still in fucking college right now. I dropped out, and then I was like, oh wait, I should do it. But then I'm like, oh, I'll take it slow. Yeah, and then it's like it's a constant cycle of back and forth. And even streaming or anything like that, like I'm pretty prone to dropping shit. So whenever I think about like, oh, like Moods doing this podcasting, that's fucking awesome. And then I'm like, well, I could be doing something like that, but I didn't. Or, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's, even though I never thought about a podcast. Actually, I did. But that was supposed to be an anime podcast with my sister, by the way.
Oh, really?
Idea. Yeah. But I think that's whenever I get stuck in that mental state of like, I'm not doing anything.
Yeah.
That's when I start to feel really down on myself. But through talking about it like this, I've actually found that a lot of 22-year-olds or 21-year-olds, or even people like in their 20s in general, feel the same way that I do. And because I've had that open conversation with a lot of people, it's actually made me feel more normal than anything else. So it's nice.
I've had a very like similar experience and like sensation. I grew up very poor. I grew up in a small two bed, one bath.
Oh, so you got 2 baths, man. That's luxury.
Yeah, but like I was sharing a room with my brother. My sister's disabled, so we lived in like a two-story like apartment. So she had to sleep in the living room, and I think just my entire like childhood is like I knew shit wasn't ideal.
Yeah.
And I know shit like my friends had it better, my cousins had it way better, and all that. But it wasn't like what you were saying. It wasn't bad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it was just my reality, and I was like happy with my reality. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was really happy just to have like a family and like 1 or 2 friends growing up and all that. And I think there's like this critical point where you kind of self-actualize and you want more for yourself out of life. And I think especially as a man, you want more for yourself out of life. And I remember when I started to become a teenager, I like really was like, fuck, I really have to like save my family. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm tired of having one shower to share among 5 people. I'm tired of like my sister, like she's disabled, she can't come upstairs. It was just like, I was like, I'm gonna be the one that like saves like my family in a sense. You know what I'm saying? On some like Batman shit. And I remember growing up and getting to college, and especially in college at a place like UCLA, I've met so many privileged people. You know what I'm saying? Like people that came from multi-million dollar households or even billion-dollar households. And I was just like, I've come from nothing.
Yeah.
And I'm in a similar like spot as them.
Yeah.
And I remember leaving UCLA, and I'm unemployed right now, and I was like, fuck, I came to this school, I've experienced all this wealth and all like these privileged motherfuckers, and after college, they like get to go back to that privileged experience.
Yeah.
I get to go back to my reality. And it was really trippy because for 4 years, I kind of forgot that I was from that fucked up, not necessarily fucked up, but like that less than ideal,
Yeah.
like household situation. And then it kind of got me back to like that same like motivation and same like thought pattern that I had when I was like a teenager. And then after I left college, I was just like, I went back into like, I went into this cycle where I was just like, fuck, like, how am I going to start making money? How am I going to start providing? How am I going to start like being the person that I want to be for my family? Right? And I kind of just realized that in life, you kind of just have to like accept what you're in, and it's less about going from point A to point Z and more just about taking it slow and experiencing the journey. You know what I'm saying? And I realized how blessed I was. I was like, I have friends, I have some money in my bank accounts, I'm doing fine. My family right now, they're healthy, everything's fine. Yeah, we don't have a huge house, but we have each other. And it's more just about like, I have these certain keystones that people around the world would love to have.
Yeah.
And I have that. Therefore, I shouldn't really worry about the material aspects of the world. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And as soon as I started to like relinquish the material, everything started to become a little bit more crystal clear. Instead of me worrying about how, for example, I was gonna make money with content creation, rather just like I'm gonna enjoy my friend's presence.
Yeah.
It became so much smoother and just more streamlined. And I think it's just like in society, money and this idealized future just corrupts so much. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, money is great. Yeah, it's fantastic. I think everyone in the world wants money on some shit. But it's just like people forget their own blessings by dreaming about blessings that other people could have and what they could have on some shit. And by allowing myself to like just relinquish almost fantasy in a sense and just be present of what I have right now, my satisfaction has just dramatically gone up.
You know, I don't know if you realize that was really important for me to hear.
Mm-hmm.
Like not even doing it up for the camera. Like that's genuinely, that blew my fucking mind. That's probably the deepest thing I've ever heard you say, and I feel like I understand you a lot more.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. Like I think exactly what you were saying about like people in our 20s. It's because like in your 20s, everyone kind of like realizes that like it's either like now or like never type shit. You know what I'm saying? Or like you just have to like get into like the race. And I don't know, like sometimes like taking it slow is better than trying to take it fast.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I think right now in life I'm satisfied, and I just want to focus more on my blessings than like what blessings I could get.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's really fucking awesome, man. Genuinely.
I think honestly you should pursue that podcast idea with your sister, bro.
Dude,
I think it would be hype.
It was the idea on that one briefly was it was supposed to be just an anime podcast between me and her talking about like random shit going on in the industry, or just anything that we love.
Mm-hmm.
Mainly just because me and her, I think we're the funniest fucking duo in the world.
She did the phone case for you, right?
She did do the phone case for
I
me.
remember that shit. That shit was sick. His sister painted a phone case, and it was so fucking sick, bro.
Badass. It was Asta on the back of a clear case.
Yeah.
It was awesome. But yeah, I definitely think that would be a fun idea.
I think you should definitely do it. Just like, I think also something I've realized is like, not everything has to succeed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like things can fail and they could still be awesome.
Yeah, you can.
Like I can go interview my friends, end this, and I'm like, oh my god, I just had like conversations with my friends. On some like dope shit.
I really appreciate you hitting me up for this, genuinely.
Yeah. Going on to my next question, what is your dream, and how are you working towards that?
You know, this is gonna sound odd. I feel like I don't dream of much.
Mm-hmm.
Mainly just because like I feel like the the sky's the limit when it comes to everything.
Yeah.
So it feels like, if anything, I have like these mini dreams of like just all these things I want to try to do and accomplish. So I'd say not necessarily dreams, but a bucket list.
Mm-hmm.
I'd love, very short term, I'd love to live in Japan for about a year's time, 2 years. That would be awesome. I'd love to be able to travel as much as I can.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, I mean, buying expensive clothes is cool, but, traveling, spending that money that I earn and traveling as much as I can. Just living, I'd say, a well-rounded life is pretty much all I really want. And whether that's streaming or just working a 9 to 5 or anything like that, all that stuff, to me, it wouldn't say is a means to an end, because one's a little bit more creative and actually you kind of get a little bit more satisfaction out of. But to be able to kind of open the door for opportunity and be able to be like, here's my, these are the experiences I've gotten in life. But I guess the ultimate end goal for me is to eventually settle down and just be a provider for a family. I'd love to be married and have 2-3 beautiful kids.
Yeah.
And have them look at me in the eye and ask me questions about my life, and I can tell them all the interesting shit I did. And I think that's when I would be satisfied.
Yeah, no, I think I like sometimes like I think the coolest experiences I've had with my parents is like when they try out that like random like knowledge on you from like their lore. Yeah. And I was like, oh shit, my mom, my dad, they have lore on some shit. I can't wait to do that to my kids, bro. I can't wait just to be like, oh shit, like I just did this randomly, and they're like, what the fuck? I think also about the Japan thing, I don't know if you've seen this, but have you seen those motherfuckers? Like, okay, so like there's this dude who goes to Japan and he buys like these houses that like no one wants to live in, and he renovates it.
I have seen that.
Yeah, bro. That dude is so sick. He's giving me a lot of inspiration on some shit, bro.
Yeah.
Because like I feel like that'd be so fun, bro. Because Japan is such a cool society.
It is. Since I've gotten the chance, like I think in total, I've been there like just I'd say like a month and 3 weeks, like in total time. Granted, that's not enough time to figure out like the actual inner workings of everything, but it's definitely a lot longer than like your average touristy experience.
Yeah.
So, for me, I think it's just a nice, convenient lifestyle with people that are very kind and warm, if that makes sense. Even though they're
that's a
cold
very
on
good
the surface, they're just very warm.
I think that's a beautiful way to put it. This next question is something that I've been having a lot of epiphanies about.
Okay.
And I wanted to get your perspective on this. When do you feel most alone?
I think I've been thinking about this a lot too. I genuinely think I feel the most alone. Would you say like actual like time and place, or like?
Yeah, like or like whatever. You know what I'm saying? Or like maybe a situation or something, a time of day, or an event, or whatever the fuck.
Okay. I guess for me, when shit really hits the fan, whether that's like this happened in my life or this happened in my life, I think that's when I feel the most alone. For example, like yesterday when I was going like through all that stuff with like texting my mom back and forth over all this stuff, like sure I was with my girlfriend, I told her everything, but like it didn't necessarily feel like I had support, if that makes sense. Like she was very supportive, but in my head it just felt like I'm the only person that's gonna deal with this shit. And even though like that affects my mom, my sister, all that stuff in different ways, usually when it comes to stuff, anything tragic, it feels like I'm shouldering, or I'm trying to be Atlas with my pain and my grief and my sorrow, and hold it above my head, so then I can be more of like a clearing for everybody else going through that.
Yeah.
And that's when I feel the most alone. For example, when my grandfather died, both grandfathers passed, I was trying to be like this strong-willed, like it's okay, we'll get through this kind of guy, when in reality everything really sucked and it hurt. When my latest, like my mom recently got divorced from my stepdad of like 12 years, that shit hurt. It hurt like a bitch, and it felt like my world was genuinely coming to an end. But I don't talk about it because, like, like no one really wants to hear other people's issues, even if, like, it's a nice comfort. Sometimes it can be a burden, and I don't want to be a burden. But also, my sister's going through it. My stepbrother or my brother, like, he's going through it. So rather than being like, yeah, life fucking sucks, I'm like, guys, we'll get through this together.
Yeah.
Kind of idea, like,
It's kind of like you have to pocket your own pain and
Yeah.
focus on
other people.
On the realization that everyone has pain, in a sense.
But it doesn't necessarily change the fact that shit exists still, and I'm in pain. Or even when, God rested his soul, our friend Jabari, when he passed as well.
Rest in peace, Jabari.
Yeah, that was, rest in peace, Jabari. That was also, like, mind you, that was the worst year of my life.
Yeah.
Not only were my parents going through a divorce, or like that at the time. My grandmother wasn't diagnosed with AFib yet, but she was in and out of the hospital. My dad was scanned for like a mini stroke, like he collapsed, and then Bari had passed away, and that was like all before like summer had ended. Like that was between like the beginning of the year and summer, and I was like, I thought turning 21 was badass. Like what the fuck, or like I think it was 20. I don't know, and I was like, fuck, dude, like this is the worst thing ever. And that entire year of my life being 20, it felt like I was the most alone I'd ever been.
Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
I think the reason why I asked that question is I think for college has consumed the past 4 years of my life.
Okay.
And I'm very grateful that I had a fantastic college experience. I'm very grateful for that. But I noticed this pattern that I would do in college where, because like my classes like weren't intense and like I had so much free time, I would surround myself with friends all the time. Friends here or friends there, whatever, like, you know what I'm saying? Always trying to preoccupy my mind. And then I noticed that whenever I would not have like friends around, I would immediately just turn to weed. You know what I'm saying? Like right away, like I would just turn to weed. And right after I graduated, and like obviously like my friends were moving to Seattle and New York and across the country, right?
Yeah.
And shit like that, and everyone kind of goes back to where they came from, especially at a place like UCLA. I was like, fuck. I noticed I started smoking a lot more weed. And like I was already smoking a lot of weed, but now I was just smoking like an obscene amount of weed. And I really like took a second to like think about it and break it down. And I was like, the reason why I distract myself with other human beings is because I don't like to be alone with my thoughts. And in the moment I am alone with my thoughts, I just start getting into smoking so that I can just cloud it out and just drown it out on some shit. Yeah. And I realized like when you have so much time, you can't just be high all the time, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So then I started to cut off the weed a little bit. And now that I've cut it out, and when I'm alone, I'm just there sitting like, what do I do now? You know what I'm saying? And there's only so many like productive things you can do in a day, right?
Fuck yeah, dude. There's only so much.
There's only so much, like, I'll like work on this podcast, or I'll work on something else, or I'll apply to jobs, or I'll read half a book, or I'll do whatever the fuck. And then at a certain point, I'll have like hours like left of like nothing to do. Yeah. And those are the moments where I just feel so alone, where I'm just like, fuck, like, I'm just like, I'm lonely right now. And it's not necessarily like, I'm like lonely. Because I think lonely is a different emotion than feeling alone. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's not like I'm lonely, I just feel like so alone in those moments because I just don't have anything to distract myself with. You know what I'm saying? I don't have something productive to distract myself with. I don't have marijuana to distract myself with. And I just feel like alone in those moments. And it's like, I could do a bunch of different things. Like I could watch a movie or I could watch anime. But it's just like, it's all just distractions from like myself. And I've been really trying to like become just more accepting and more complicit with like being alone. That's something I've been working on.
That's really, really like powerful of you to really notice that. If this is gonna sound really dumb, you're gonna hate it.
I'm not, trust me.
I think the best way to kind of adjust to that is being in social settings alone. Genuinely, it's the worst thing ever. I kind of went through something very similar, and I'm still kind of like navigating.
Mm-hmm.
But it's weird that you mentioned that. I started doing things alone a lot more often, and it weirds the fuck out of our friends, by the way. I go to karaoke nights every Monday as much as I can. I do it by myself. I ran into like strangers.
Mm-hmm.
I say hi and interact. I don't really drink too much either. It's because it's at bars, but I don't really drink too much. And I go to movies by myself. You know what I mean? Like, and those are like social fucking things that people are like,
yeah.
You do that by yourself? I'm like,
you do that in pairs. You do that with a friend group.
Yeah. Like, even I hate this one. I go to the mall by myself too. Like, I'll like shop for myself. You know what I mean?
I actually, I love going to the mall by myself.
I can't do it. Yeah, I couldn't do it.
I love, because like, bro, oh, you can't go to the mall by yourself?
No, I couldn't.
Oh,
now I can. I couldn't.
Because like, bro, for me, it's like when you go to the mall with a group of friends, it takes like all day.
That's
it
the
generally
fun
takes
thing,
all
that's
day,
bro. But like, that's a fun thing.
Yeah.
But sorry to digress, or sorry, I'm using my words wrong, but like, genuinely, if you were to start doing that and putting yourself in those uncomfortable situations, you definitely would realize how, I don't know, I don't want to say strong-willed, but just how capable you are, even when you're in situations, you know, isolated from people that you're familiar with.
Yeah.
Because, you know, and then especially if you force those interactions with just random strangers, like, you could argue that's distracting yourself from being alone, but at the same time, like, it's not like you're going to have the bros behind you, like, backing you up, or, like, you know what I mean? Like, you're starting from scratch as a stranger, and that interaction is going to take a little bit more effort.
Absolutely.
And, you know, it's something, I don't know if I'd recommend for everybody, but it's something that I've done, and it helps out a lot more.
No, definitely. It's almost like practicing for a sport in a sense, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you got to get your reps up. Like, you'll never be comfortable being alone if you've never practiced being alone.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Damn, I think that's phenomenal advice, bro. I think it's phenomenal. This is my last question of the Under the Canopy section, but I think we've both had similar experiences of our current girlfriends. We're dating them, we broke up for a little bit, and then we got back together.
Yeah.
And I think it's a really like interesting phenomena, and I was wondering, like, how do you know like they're the one, or like they're the person for you, like, right now?
Fuck, that is a scary question.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, I think especially like when you break up with someone for like valid reasons, like to give context, like me and Kat, like everything was fine in our relationship.
Yeah.
I just felt like that we had some, like, we just weren't ready for each other at that specific time. You know what I'm saying? So then we took a year off, and then we got back together. And I think sometimes I just like look at it and I'm just like, fuck. Like, did I get back with her? I love her and I'm enjoying the relationship, right?
Yeah.
I absolutely do. But like sometimes I'm like, fuck, did I get back with her because I couldn't deal with like not having that type of love anymore? Or did I get back with her because I actually like genuinely like love her on some shit? You know what I'm saying?
You know, so for context, why I had actually broke up with Eileen at the time was mainly just because of all those things I actually had mentioned, like pretty much the worst time ever. All those things had come to a head where I was like, dude, like I'm gonna pretty much like I was gonna crash out pretty much, and I was gonna do like dumb shit, and I didn't really want anybody to be around for me around there at my lowest, because I wanted to feel free to be dumb, if that makes sense. But pretty much all that meant was just turning to alcohol and everything as much as I could, or just like fuck it, being out of the house until 5 a.m. and dumb shit like that. You know what I mean? I wasn't really much of a heavy drinker at that time, but I kind of was on track to be. But I definitely understand exactly what you're saying, and I guess like the truth be told, I kind of went through that same idea at first when we first got back together. I think I was worried of like, shit, did we get back together because I couldn't move on, or I was afraid to move on, or you know, like I crave just having love, and I know that she genuinely loves me. This motherfucker knows.
Yeah.
You know, and I think. You think he might come in frame?
That'd be so
badass.
sick, bro. When I was doing the one with Josh, a dog came up.
Did it?
Yeah. How do you even attract the duck over? Oh, it's coming. Oh, is it? There's a duck right out of the frame, bro.
Just in case the mic doesn't pick him up, there's a duck out of frame. I think he's interested. So I think to navigate those feelings, the best way that I've come up with it is just saying fuck it.
Yeah.
And throwing caution in the wind and saying, look, it doesn't really matter why we got back together or why, it is why she loves me or why it is that I love her or anything like that. It's just like definitely at this moment, there's nothing stopping us from being together. There's no compatibility issues or anything like that. And I think that's okay. And we're just going to kind of grow and figure things out as we go along. And there's nothing wrong with that journey,
Type shit.
I don't think that everything needs to be as profound. Do I believe in love at first sight? Maybe not, but at the same time, I don't think it's a bad thing either.
Exactly.
And if she's the one, and
then she's the one.
Yeah,
if she's not, then she's not.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure she feels the same way. We've even already had open discussions about okay, when do we want kids, or if we get married, when do we want to get married, and all that stuff, And I think it's just made a lot of the questioning of true love or anything like that kind of just not feel as oh fuck, I'm scared of this relationship, and just more or less kind of moving forward with it and be fuck it, yeah, this is
type shit.
We'll just deal with it.
That makes complete sense. That's the end of the under the canopy section.
Fucking awesome.
Wait, let me just make sure this shit is still rolling.
Definitely pushing an hour and a half, 2 hours.
This one?
Yeah.
That's at hour 50, so it's gonna be 2 hours.
Nice.
This is gonna be my longest podcast by far.
I'll be honest, I don't know if it's felt long for you, but it has not felt long.
It hasn't felt long for me at all, bro. It's been flying. So now it's the retard spec section over the canopy.
Yeah.
So, which anime baddie are you piping?
I would like to apologize to my girlfriend in advance. There's you watching? I mentioned Dandadan.
Yeah.
That grandma 1000%.
That grandma is bad, bro. Also, her energy. Her energy is just so sexy on some shit, bro.
Everything about it is just, it's attractive. I would probably be the biggest simp for her.
I think for me, you've seen Naruto, right?
Yeah.
The 5th Mizukage.
Is that the one with the blonde hair?
No, it's the one that has her eye covered. She's from the Hidden Mist Village.
The Hidden Mist Village, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Roughly. The moment you mentioned the eye cover though, yeah.
The 5th Mizukage is my baddie, bro. She's so sexy.
I got a thing for eye patches, I think.
Yeah?
Yeah. Makes them more mysterious.
It's like some Illuminati shit.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck, bro. They're bad.
or fucking Tsunade from Naruto. I think I just having
okay, I was thinking of Tsunade, by the way.
I have an affinity for Naruto characters because that was the first long anime I really watched.
You're wearing your fucking Akatsuki.
Of course, bro. Of course. They're so sad that there's no baddies in the Akatsuki.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a chick, then I'm pretty sure all of them are contenders.
Oh God. Especially Itachi, bro.
Especially Itachi.
Okay.
Yep.
Would you rather have Cheeto dust on your fingers always for a year, or wet socks for a year?
Cheeto dust.
Cheeto dust?
1000%. I probably. Well, is it hot Cheeto dust or normal Cheeto dust?
Hot Cheeto dust.
Oh, I'm licking that shit every day.
But constantly.
It is what it is. I mean, as long as I can. If it's constant, I wash my hands, right?
Yeah, it'll come back.
Does it become soggy or does it come back?
Yeah, it comes back.
Oh yeah, then fuck yeah, dude. I'll take it.
Just for free dust all the time, bro.
People are gonna be mad when I touch shit, but it is what it is. I mean, wet socks is the worst feeling in the world.
I really don't mind it that much. I would go with the wet socks personally.
Okay, that's
I think
fair.
the only annoying part was just be getting into bed on some shit, bro.
Yeah, no, getting into bed both ways really fucking sucks. But I think I'd take the Cheeto dust 1000%.
Fair. Next question, right?
Yeah.
Would you rather have a vagina on your forehead, or a bunch of penises on your back like a Stegosaurus?
Fuck, I think I would take the Stegosaurus.
Yeah, and you can control the dicks also. Like, you know what I'm saying?
What the fuck?
You can make it like hard on some shit.
I would take the Stegosaurus 1000%.
I would take the Stegosaurus also.
I don't know if I'd want somebody to see that shit on my forehead.
Like, they start like just fingering it on some shit, bro.
Yeah, I don't think I'd want that. I definitely would get violated. The first to fall asleep at the sleepover kind of shit.
Do you got any embarrassing childhood stories you want to share?
I'm pretty sure I have plenty of them. This is just a matter of what I can remember. I think this is an old story. It's not that. Well, it's embarrassing for sure. But I have a track record for embarrassing myself in front of the house.
Okay.
You ask Diwu, you ask Gigi especially. Like, I have a track record for embarrassing myself in front of the house. Oh, don't ask Jordan. He's just an asshole about it. But an absolute track record.
Jordan has an itemized list on his phone.
He has. No. He does. He's actually, I fucking love the guy. He's my dog for sure. And I love him genuinely. I love all my friends, but Jordan specifically, he is the hardest motherfucker on me. And I think it's okay, but like, fuck. My earliest memory of embarrassing myself in front of the hose would probably be the first time Omar brought around his then girlfriend, Caitlin, for the first time ever, which is also a funny story because she actually was trying to get at me first.
Oh, shit.
Omar was her wingman, and I had rejected her because I was too embarrassed to have. I had a crush at the time, and I didn't want to fuck it up.
Yeah.
Which nothing ever happened out of that. But rather than being a man just saying, unfortunately, I have eyes for somebody else, I just I waited till the day of the date. And I had said, guy, I can't go out. I have Dungeons and Dragons. Fucking hilarious story. And she's like, okay, cool. Where I'm going with this is now at this point, Omar and Caitlin are dating.
Yeah.
Caitlin brings her two friends around. I immediately fucking fall in love at that time with this chick named Andrea. Okay. Which, if you ever bring that name up around Jordan specifically, or anybody like Gigi, everyone had a low-key thing for Andrea.
She was a baddie?
Not even. She was just pretty.
Okay.
She was pretty, and in a school where not a lot of pretty people were, especially at like high school age, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
She's, I guess, like a diamond in the rough.
I got you.
So immediately I was like, fumbling words and all that stuff, and then rather than being a normal fucking human being, which, by the way, they all knew who I was as the Dungeons and Dragons guy, so I'm already fucking down low. They were the friends that would have been there on the date if I had gone with Caitlin.
Oh, shit,
so
really?
So they were very familiar with who I am and what I did.
Oh, shit.
So immediately they all start shit testing me.
Yeah.
One of them was named Alyssa. She was a bitch at the moment, at the time. Fuck me. Grilling my shit pretty much. Very, like, passive-aggressive with everything I had to say. I disappeared because I'm hungry. And rather than saying, oh, guys, it's a football game where we were all interacting. Oh, you guys think Warren's going to win or anything like that? I was like, guys, guess what, guys? And they're like, what? What are you so excited about? Guys, I got Jimmy John's. I, like, fucked up that one thing. And that's all it fucking took. They laughed at me and said, you guys, I got Jimmy John's. I was like, fuck. And they never dropped it ever for like my entire like senior year or junior year. They never dropped it.
They would just say that around
Jimmy
you?
John's. And there was chicks making fun of me. This is the first time I've ever had girls make fun of me, and I hated it. And the guys thought it was fucking hilarious, and it was all because of just Jimmy John's. And I fucked up. I slurred a little bit.
Damn, bro.
To this moment, such a silly, stupid fucking fuck up has lived in my memory.
Do you think it would have been as clownable if you didn't stutter or slip up?
Nowhere near as clownable. Granted, it's cringy. Why am I so excited over a sandwich? But I didn't know what else to fucking say.
That's fair.
But because I stuttered, over.
It's raps.
They
I got to bring this up to Jordan. See.
He was never there for that. But if you bring it up to Gigi or Omar,
if I just say Jimmy John's,
yeah, they'll fucking remember it immediately. Actually, Jordan, on the other hand, he just says, like when we were going to clubs for the first time ever. Mm-hmm. I'm not the best dancer, but I'm definitely better now than I was then. Okay. And obviously, like I'm partially white, so my white side kicks in when the music comes on. I started trying to bust the.
Start doing the
dude.
YMCA?
Yeah, the YMCA. And he's like, bro, you fucking are. They're laughing at you. And I was like, no, you're not. I look over. I was like, oh no.
Damn.
Yeah.
Tragic.
Horrible. What about you? What's your embarrassing moment?
Oh fuck! You can put me on the spot
Yeah.
now. Okay, I think I have a lot actually. Okay, so it was 5th grade. Me and my friend Jaden, we made a list of all the girls in our grade, and we ranked them. Right, like
I've done this before.
on a scale of like 1 to 10.
That is embarrassing.
And I remember we were on the playground at recess one time, and we're just talking like this few girls that were in our grade, right?
Yeah.
And I remember one of them was like really annoying on some shit. And she was like dissing me on some shit, right?
Yeah, fuck her.
So I was like, you know what, Caitlin? We made this.
It's always a Caitlin.
It's always a fucking Caitlin, bro. And it was the worst because her Caitlin was like a CAIT LYN or something. You know what I'm saying? Like one of the like retarded spellings. And I was like, you know what, Caitlin? Me and Jaden, we rated you a fucking 3 out of 10 in our notebook. And she's like, what do you mean? I was like, we rated you, all the girls in our grade, and you got the lowest score. And then we told her this, right?
Yeah.
Tell me why me and Jaden get called up to the principal's office the next day because she told her mom, and her mom reported us to the principal.
Yeah, that's...
And then I had to go home and explain to my parents how I fucking ranked all the girls in our grade, bro.
That's commitment though. I'll hold you.
And then from then on, every girl in our grade just looked at me and my homie like on like some disgusted shit, bruh. And I was just like, bruh.
Yeah, you know. Okay, real quick.
Yeah.
I'd mentioned that I've done that.
Okay.
So this is lore.
Okay, I want to hear the lore.
All right. So I can summarize it really fucking quick. So remember how I mentioned Caitlin was into me and everyone was into Andrea. Andrea was into everybody.
Yeah.
Alyssa, funny enough, was interested in Gigi, but she ended up actually getting with Alohi at one point.
Oh,
instead.
interested.
That was Alohi's first and only girlfriend, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Did they date for a while?
Yeah, all of our senior year, and then they broke up at pretty much at the end of the year.
Damn.
Yeah. Or junior year. Sorry, they broke up at the end of junior year. It pretty much somebody's fucking idea was to make a list of the homie hoppers. The homie hoppers were the chicks, obviously.
Yeah.
And they plotted my name, everybody's name, and they started doing it like in this order. And tell me why Omar's dumbass kept it in his fucking backpack.
Bruh.
And tapped it in his notebook, took his notebook out, and guess who fucking saw it? Caitlin.
Damn.
Started the biggest fucking headache for like a good 2 weeks.
That's funny as fuck, bro.
The next time I did this, I was in a group chat with everybody, which was like a mixed gender like group chat full of like different people here and there.
Yeah.
And somebody, they were all horny. They were all nerds. Those nerds. So Absolutely. They don't know how to interact around like girls or anything. They were like, I think they started at first. I think the chicks had ranked everybody that was like the best looking.
In your guys' like group?
Yeah. And mind you, I say this not with like, haha, I got first.
Okay.
At that, but like, they were all fucking weird chicks. I ain't gonna lie. So it wasn't even like proud. I was like, bro, like I don't even fuck with y'all. Like, I just like the guys. Yeah. I don't like you guys. I don't like you girls. I like the guys. The guys was like, fuck that shit. We're gonna rank the girls. And tell me why somebody like slipped up.
Leaked it?
Yeah, no, you know what it was? Because our friend Lee, I love Lee, awesome guy, I still talk to him to this day. His sister was one of the chicks in the other half. So he's like, he pretty much, I don't know if on purpose or slipped up, it doesn't really matter because what we did was fucked up anyways. Mm-hmm. But pretty much like, I think the list was, if I remember correctly, was like out of like who's bangable or not.
Yeah.
The list got leaked.
Why are these lists always getting leaked on some shit, bro?
Yeah. It's childish.
It's like divine intervention. If you make a list about some shotties, bro, it's just gonna get leaked on some shit. Another embarrassing childhood story I have. Okay, you know what ESS is? It's like
that's the language school, right?
No. It's like it was like this after school like program where like it's basically like a after school like daycare for like
Oh, was
like-
that at Parks?
like at my no not at Parks. It was just like at like my elementary school. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So like when parents were still working, you know what I'm saying? Like they could just leave their kid there and then they'll pick them up at like 5 or 6 or whatever the fuck. You know what I'm saying? When they get off work.
Okay, yeah.
So I had one of those programs, and I remember the way that worked is like they would basically like the school would be open after school. So part of the program was I would like be allowed to like go on the playground and go to recess and all this like type of shit after school.
Yeah.
And I remember one time I was on the playground and I really need to shit. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
and I was in
God.
2nd grade, by the way.
Oh God.
So I really need to fucking shit. And the problem is because it was after school, all of the restrooms were closed except for one on the other side of the school.
Fuck.
So I start to like run. I start to like run to that bathroom. Like, and I finally get there and the bathroom's fucking locked.
Oh.
The one that I thought would be open.
No.
So I'm like, fuck, I'm panicking. And then I like asked like the custodian like, oh, what bathroom's open? He's like, oh, there's another one by the playground.
Yeah.
So the one that was by the playground was open on some shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So now I start to like run back to like that open bathroom. And as soon as I get there, like when I'm 10 feet away from the door, I shit my pants, right? And then I get into the bathroom and I just like, I wiped all like the shit off of my like underwear. And then like I put like 30 layers of like toilet paper to like block out, you know what I'm saying, the shit from touching my ass. And like I still had to wait until like my parents picked me up on some shit, you know what I'm saying? So then like I like go and I go out to like back to like the recess area and I'm chilling and everyone's like, bro, what's that smell, bro? What's that smell? And then they figured out it was me and then they started clowning my ass, bro.
Oh.
And I got like around that like I had like shitted my pants.
Yeah, well, you did shit your pants.
I did shit
You
my
did shit
pants.
your pants.
I did shit my pants. I think that's my like most embarrassing childhood story on some real shit.
I think you have me beat for now just because I can't think of anything that would top that.
I think that's a hard one like to beat, bro. What was I gonna? Oh, last question.
Last question.
Were you ever caught beating your meat, or do you have any stories pertaining around beating your meat, or like sex stories or whatever?
Okay. Never been caught beating my meat. Never been caught in the act of anything. Actually, I'm pretty careful of that. Actually.
Damn, that's kind of impressive.
Yeah.
It's almost like every dude I know has been caught in some like type of like.
I'm pretty
respect.
sure. Okay, look, I'll keep it honest. When I was a kid, and by kid I mean
Teenager.
I'd say up until like I was 19, maybe 20.
2 years ago.
Yeah. Overall, my place to go. No, let's say 19 actually.
Okay.
My place was actually in the bathroom. To be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the safest place, and I'm pretty sure people knew. I'm pretty sure because like no one's shitting for an hour.
That's fair.
But that was no one's ever walked in on me in the bathroom. You know what I mean? So there's that.
Okay.
I don't have any embarrassing sex stories. I think I'd have embarrassing stories of like, damn, she wanted to have sex with me.
Oh, I see.
Ready? I didn't. I thought about bringing this one up.
Lay it down.
I can't remember her name all of a sudden. Fuck me, but you would know her. The
freshman?
Freshman year.
Oh, Amy.
Yes. God, I had hoped up until like up until like sophomore year, I tried to get back with her. It didn't happen.
Yeah.
I think that was embarrassing for sure.
She was annoying as fuck, bro.
She was kind of, I don't know. She just wanted to be white.
Yeah,
She
that
really
I think
wanted
that's
to
a
be
good.
white.
She really wanted to be white.
She really wanted to be white. So actually, I hit her up for the undie run. I think
Oh, really?
freshman year, or the end of freshman year, or yeah. And she's like, "Oh, haha, you're here. That's cool." Like pretty dry, and I had seen her. I was like, "Hey," she's like, "Oh, hi."
Yeah.
In front of her friends, and it was super awkward. I was like, that made me want to die. Most awkward thing is she kept inviting me over to her dorm room, and I was more or less convinced at the time I didn't want to sleep with anybody I didn't love. That was bullshit. So I should have seen it through. She would, invite me over to watch anime, and I just literally watch anime with her, and she would cry to Palmvy over why I didn't want to kiss her or even put my arm around her. And I was like, I didn't know. I didn't want to make her uncomfortable.
Bro. And the thing is, that girl does not watch anime, so she was just doing that purely for you.
Well, she said she liked Black Clover.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I didn't even bring it up.
Oh, really?
She brought it up because
Oh,
of
what the
my
fuck?
anime case.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Damn, I just learned something new about her today, bro.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's such a random anime for a girl to like. It's such like a bro-y anime.
It is a bro-y anime. So she could have been lying, but she noticed, she told me shit. I was like, damn, you had to watch this.
Yeah.
So
she's like Captain Yami.
type shit, bro. You know? So I think eventually when it had clicked in my head after the last time, I think that's when she was fed up with like my lack of shenanigans.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
She was like, bro, I was so down to make out with him right then and there if he had made a move. It was what she told Pavi, and Pavi told me this. I was like, I didn't even know she fucked with me like that. Even though, like, I don't know, like, why I was, like, so convinced no one could fuck with me in my freshman year of college, but, like, I was like...
Nah, bro, you've always been a sexy motherfucker, bro.
That's what they tell me, but, like, dude, it's hard to, like, even when we're sitting with the mic, I can't see myself from the way that other people see me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even this haircut, I fuck with this haircut, but it makes me feel childish because I recently just got it.
Mm-hmm.
But, dude, at that time, I was like, bro, she wanted to fuck me, and something that I don't think about too often, but I don't think I'll ever live down.
It's just like, damn, that lack of self-awareness on some shit.
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah.
I think a embarrassing beating off story I have is
God.
I was never caught on some shit, right?
Okay.
But when I was a freshman in high school, like middle school, going to like early high school, I would beat off a lot, right?
Yeah.
And I would always beat off like super late at night.
That's the way it should be.
Yeah, and I'd always do it in the bathroom also. And like, remember how I was saying like I have a really small house?
Oh no.
So the way that my house is, 2 bed, 1 bath. One of the bedrooms is here. That's me and my brother share it. The bathroom is in the middle, and then my parents' room is over here. You know what I'm saying? So super late at night, I'd go into the bathroom, like do my work. You know what I'm saying? Like I'd get to work on some shit. And what I didn't realize is that, like when you turn on the light in my bathroom, the fan goes on, and the fan's like really loud on some shit. So you can kind of hear it from the room.
Yeah.
And me and my dad got into this fight because I like had bad grades freshman year, and he's yelling at me, and he's like, I know what you do late at night.
No.
And I was like, fuck. He's like, every night you go for hours, and you touch yourself, and like you should be studying instead. And I'm like, bro. And then I never beat off late at night in that bathroom again, bro. I'd beat off in the shower or some shit, but like, I was just like, fuck, bro.
Bro, the moment my dad or my mom hits me with that shit, I'm cooked.
I was like, after he said that, I just shut the fuck up for like 3 days, bro. I didn't even want to look at him on some shit, bro. I was like
he got you.
He got me, bro. I think I was all slick and shit, waiting for them to go to sleep. Motherfucker knew.
I know it. Oh, fucking it. If I ever heard that, I'm not even laughing at you. I'm laughing at myself if I was in that situation.
Yeah.
If anyone ever hit me with the I know what you do at night, I'm fucking done.
I was just like, fuck, bro. I was just like, fuck.
That's rough, man.
Damn. Bro, that's
it, right?
I think that's it. I ran through all the questions, bro.
That was, okay. I want to just say to you, and obviously say to the camera, this was really well put together. I didn't know what to expect.
Yeah.
I watched the Mardell episode, and outside of production quality, I was like, this is entertaining, this is fun. But obviously being here right now, it didn't feel forced. It didn't feel uncomfortable. It just genuinely felt like I haven't seen, I don't see you too often, but it just felt like I haven't seen you, this guy in fucking forever. And a 2-hour conversation genuinely felt like it was fun. It was genuinely fun, bro.
I genuinely appreciate you for coming on, dog. I also want to know, and like I asked Mardell this on the podcast, what is something you'd like me to add into like the show? What's something you think I can improve on? What's something you'd like to see? Because I'm always just trying to think of new ways to make this like more entertaining and more fun for the guests.
Genuinely, I think you had the formula down today. I think that was awesome. I think if anything, it's after you record this. Definitely have someone go over, as well as you, but you know you need to have multiple perspectives on this. Have someone go over the film and what you got here today, and make highlights. And you need to repurpose this, because I mean, this is, I'm gonna say 2 hours and 15 minutes. I wouldn't say of gold, but it's 2 hours and 15 minutes of overall that you can cut down into digestible pieces for other people to find and enjoy.
I see. That's what I started doing.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'll show you some of the clips afterwards.
Okay, if you have a TikTok account, is it just the normal moods?
I haven't really, I've posted some of them like as YouTube shorts, but I'm gonna like make a TikTok account for it.
Yeah, Instagram, TikTok, and Shorts. And Shorts right now is, I don't know if they fixed it, but in the meta in Shorts right now, they're busted.
Really?
Yeah, a lot of more people get traction on Shorts than they do their long form videos.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I'm pretty sure that's how that motherfucker that does the library podcast.
Oh, I've gotten a lot of inspiration from him, bro.
He's lovely. That's how he came about, really.
Yeah.
Just because he's doing like cool stuff in a really interesting environment, but his short form content is interesting enough to make people want to watch.
I always see the clips with him and LLE. I think that's what put him on the map for real, bro.
Well, you have to work your way up for that one for sure.
Fuck, you know any porn stars I can ask to come on the pod?
I don't know any porn stars, unfortunately. But yeah, if you can break this down or break down any of your other videos into like, I'd say, what other people would tell you is highlights and your highlights.
Yeah.
I think it'll show a lot of your passion in this.
I appreciate that, dog. This has been the 4th episode of Under the Canopy. Thank you so much to Marc for coming out in our anime fits.
Of course.
Our longest one to date.
The longest one to date.
All right. Peace out.
Peace out.